Hey, thanks for tuning in to Keep Your Head Up Hockey. I'm your host, JB Young. We've got Dylan Nose and big old J Dog live reporting from Punta Cana. We are going to be watching the game with you tonight. And thanks so much for tuning in. We've got a good one tonight. We've got the Devils in Toronto at Scotiabank Arena facing off against the Toronto Maple Leafs March 26th. Thanks so much for tuning in. Of course, a shout out to Core 4. You guys are the best. Thanks so much for tuning in and supporting our shows. This one's gonna be a little bit different. We're gonna try it out, kind of getting ready for the playoffs. We'd love to do this and cheer on the Leafs with you guys and watch us while we comment on the live game. Tonight we'll talk about the team comparison and we'll kind of get that started here.
Hopefully, we're doing it well into June too, Jamie. For Christ's sake!
Oh, that'd be nice. Go right into the summer and cheer these boys on all the way to the Stanley Cup. You never know. Regular season head-to-head, 80, 41, and 30 Toronto is against the Devils. Playoffs, Devils has beat 8-5 for the Devils in the playoffs. So a little bit of redemption here tonight. This is the first of three matchups that the Leafs have with the Devils in the last 12 games of the season. So it should be interesting. Last time we played them was on March 7th last year. Leafs won 4-3 that matchup. Of course, Austin Matthews, 58 goals, 15 power play goals. Jack Hughes with 69 points. And Tyler Toffoli with 26 goals this year, 8 power play goals. Those would be the guys to watch out for. And of course, we got to mention William Nylander, 93 points and 39 goals, 54 assists. Kind of having a year this year. We'll see if he can step it up tonight and get it another one. What do you guys think about this matchup? We'll go over to J Dog. What do you think about the Devils in Toronto tonight?
Well, I think having Wall back in the mix is definitely making things interesting. Gonna have a nice little fight for first position as far as the goalie's concerned. I still think Samsonov is holding his own. He's been playing very, as far as I'm concerned, he's been playing very well lately. Since he's turned the corner, like got over his hiccup there, he's been actually pretty solid all the way through. I mean, every goalie's not going to be perfect every night. He's had a couple of nights where he's been off. I think that as far as playing against New Jersey, they traded away some of their best players in the last couple of weeks. And I think that they're going to be on a rebuild for about the next 3 to 5 years, if you want my honest opinion. I don't think that there's any reason for the Leafs to lose to this team anymore at all. And if they do, well, then that's because they're not playing at least 40 minutes of hockey. I'm getting sick and tired of trying to say that the Leafs are going to play 60 minutes of hockey. They're never going to play 60 minutes of hockey. Their core four is fucking lazy with the exception of Matthews. And that's just it. I've come to the realization that that's the issue. However, they only need to play for 4 minutes in a whole fucking game and they can score 6 goals. So, as long as the goaltending keeps 4 goals out, I think the Leafs can score 6 in every game. And it doesn't really matter who they're playing against because I'd say there's only 2 goalies, maybe 3 goalies in the league right now. And it's Boston, Winnipeg, and Vancouver are going to be the only goalies that stop these guys. And as far as, that are not going to let in 6 goals. And I think that's probably it. Colorado. So I think that you're looking at pretty much if the Leafs are playing at least a 40-minute game, they're going to score 5 or 6 goals. And if the goalies are playing like they're supposed to be playing, there's no reason why they can't win.
That's such a cliche anyways, 60 minutes. What team plays a full 60 minutes ever? Like, I mean, at the end of the day.
Not a lot, but you see some teams like Boston in the past, Colorado in the past, New Jersey in the past. They played a full, Detroit back in the day in the past. Like, these are teams that played the whole game. Like, nothing was perfect. I mean, there's always going to be turnaround, but, you can't count on your goalies for everything. And then, you get really good teams. Most of them have a really good goalie,
Usually when it's a 60-minute game, it's a blowout. The team just crushes. You're just crushing the other team and the wind is out of their sails. But You actually don't even see that in the NHL anymore. Like no lead is safe. Not even a 5-goal lead is safe. You almost don't want your team to go up 5 goals in the first half of the game, knowing that there's still another 30 minutes left.
The Leafs don't exactly have the greatest history for having a 4 or 5 goal lead. So, no, definitely not with the Leafs. There's no doubt. I think they've changed. There's no, like, they've obviously a couple of weeks ago, well, last week, I guess they blew a good lead too. But I mean, it's of no significance right now, but it might have been an eye opener to say, hey, let's not let this happen again.
The last 5 games for the Leafs, they lost to Carolina, a close one on the 24th, 2 days ago, 2-1. And then Edmonton almost blew that lead. They're up 5-0. It ends up being a 6-3 game with an empty netter. So that was pretty close. And then Washington really just stomped them 7-3, but it was Washington. And then for New Jersey, they just got off a win 2 days ago against the Islanders, a convincing win of 4-0. But they just lost the night before to Ottawa 5-2. So this is a team that can show up against some of the best and then also shit the bed against some of the worst. So it kind of sounds like the Leafs. It's going to be a good one. We're getting close here to the puck drop. And if you're going to watch along with us, throw the game on, watch it with us while we comment live. We are watching it online, so we might be delayed a little bit to the live stream, but it's going to be a good one.
Comment. Let's hear the comments. Let's get them going.
Yeah, come on. Like, if you're watching with us, comment on the game as well while we're watching. I'll throw your comments on the screen. But yeah, it should be a good game to comment on. Should be entertaining. I think that the Leafs should dominate here, but we've shown up less against less teams. Losing to Carolina twice recently, as well as Philly. So it should be interesting. Let's jump into the injury report. We'll just talk about that briefly before we get going here. We've still got Marner is the big injury, still day-to-day. He is skating, though, which is really good news for Toronto. Morgan Riley is on day-to-day as well. Joel Edmondson is out. Estimated return on April 1st, which is a pretty big loss. I've really liked him since coming in and playing, 3 or 4 games now. I like how tough he plays, and I love that he cross-checks the fuck out of everybody. I just absolutely love that. He's tough in front of the net, and he doesn't put up with any bullshit, and that's exactly what we need on the back end, but he won't be here tonight. Samsonov is saying that he's out still as well. Bushkin's day-to-day. So that's our injury report. And then New Jersey, they've got Lazar out day-to-day, Curtis McDermott out day-to-day, and John Marino out day-to-day. So that's your injury report for tonight. And what do you guys think about Edmondson joining the club of being out? Nose, what do you think?
Yeah, I didn't even realize he was out. What even happened to him?
No idea. Hasn't been announced. It just says that he's out. So.
And who's in? Is it Brody back in?
It must be Brody. We'll pull up the.
Is it not Timmins?
It might be. Well, let's go over the report for who's playing tonight, because I've got that in front of us here. So, Edmondson is back in. Okay, well, they said that he was out, but it looks like he is
in
playing.
As well.
I didn't think anything happened to Evans. Like he didn't get hurt.
But that's what I wrote. Okay. Brody, McCabe,
Timmins.
Riley, Labushkin is what they're saying, and Edmondson and Liljegren. So that's the setup for tonight. Is as far as this morning. And then we've got Bertuzzi, Matthews, Domi. I like that line. McMahon, Tavares, and Nylander like that line a lot too. Nyes, Holmberg, and Robertson. Oh, I like this. And Dewar, Camp, and Gregor for the Leafs. What do you guys think about those lineups?
Who's McCann with?
McCann's playing with Tavares and Nylander on the second line.
Wow. Well deserved, first of all. I mean, he earned it. I was hoping to see him and Nyes reunited, but they shifted Nyes down to the third line. Mm-hmm. I guess it's an opportunity for Nyes to find his game and come up with some points. Like, I just don't know what he's doing. He's not going to the net hard enough. Like, he's just not getting into the dirty areas. What's up with this?
He's got a girlfriend now. That's what I heard. He's got a girlfriend.
Yeah, you lose a lot of motivation, I guess. Hey, you're just kind of chilling.
He's got a lot less energy now.
less energy. He's drained.
He's getting drained off the ice rather than on the ice. Oh my gosh!
Now, I heard some
zing.
intel this morning regarding Matt Murray in the mix.
Yeah,
we talked about that.
Ice. Yeah, so, practicing with the team. You got to love that.
Yeah,
four-headed monster in Toronto.
This is that. I'll tell you. I don't think Matt Murray's done. And physically, I think he's fine. He's had enough time to rest, and if he's been playing, like if he plays well enough, I think that there's a trade there that's possible. And for a defenseman, like for a good defenseman, I think Matt Murray's worth $2 million, and I think you can get a half decent defenseman for $2 million. And I think that he'd be worth that. Matt Murray's not a starting goalie any longer, but who knows? Maybe he could be. You look what happened with Samsonov. Fuck, we were all ready to throw him in the junk pile, and look at him now. So maybe he was actually hurt. Maybe he was actually really recovering, and maybe he had a long-term injury that had been bugging him for a couple of years.
He's only 30 years old. That's young for a goalie.
What's that?
He's only 30. That's young for a goalie.
Yeah.
Like,
he's only 30?
Tim Thomas came in the league when he was like 35 or something. Didn't he?
Yeah, Tim Thomas
was like 42 when he came into the league. I'm pretty sure. They lied on his birth certificate.
Well, let's quickly talk about let's quickly talk about keys to success for this game. I think again it's going to be the penalty kill and the power play. I've got to say the Leafs have taken some pretty stupid fucking penalties recently, and they got to stay out of the box. It's let's get ready for the playoffs. Play rough, play tough, absolutely, but play smart. Don't be taking these silly penalties for tripping or for hooking or for interference. Stay out of the box. Let's get in the habit of doing that. The Leafs, if they can get on the power play, are one of the best power play teams in the league, 4th overall currently. And if they can get this team on the power play, good things are going to happen. Vice versa, if they get into a game where they're killing a ton of penalties, well, then shit's going to hit the fan. But yeah, I think that's going to be a huge key to success. We are getting started here. Puck's just about to drop. So thanks again for tuning in. Follow along with us as we comment on the game. So we'll get started here. And the Leafs looks like they lost that draw, but have recovered the puck. Yeah, what do you guys think would be a major key to success to this game? I'll throw it over to Nose while we watch the game live. Nose, what do you think the Leafs got to do to win this game?
Yeah, just pump the net full of goals. Do what they do best. Am I right?
Absolutely.
I almost want to say don't get a big lead, but
it's New Jersey. And
it's New Jersey.
Jake Allen in net. His save percentage is atrocious. Goals against average isn't that good. And they're now a very weak defense core with the exception of their first 2 defenders. And that's it. They don't have, they're not depth. There's no depth in the defense core. I think the Leafs are going to be all over them most of the game.
TJ Brody's back tonight.
Breakaway chance here for what a goal!
Let's go!
A lot of goals.
Here we go. What a good start there.
Domi again.
TJ Brody got the apple. He got an apple on that one.
Yeah, and I will say one thing about Domi. What I've been watching over the last 5 or 6 games, he is one of the most elite passers in the NHL. I am not joking. His skating is great, but he is tape to tape on especially the long passes. He's making all sorts of long passes.
Brody?
No, Domi.
No, Domi.
Domi just
Domi stepped up.
Yeah.
He's a
playmaker.
And the problem is for next year, it's been talked about a fair amount that people are saying, and guys around the league, as far as announcers and whatnot are saying that they're not going to be with Domi or Bertuzzi next year. One of them's going to have to go. And I actually starting to think that they might not be able to afford Domi the way he's playing. Bertuzzi wants to be there. I don't know if Domi does, but I think Bertuzzi wants to be there. So I think that's going to be a difference. If you remember,
Bertuzzi got that goal there too.
Domi said he never wanted to play in Toronto.
Exposed Allen on that. Allen just
Sorry, go ahead, J Dog. What one more comment on Domi?
Well, you remember when Domi was playing for Montreal, and I know he had to say something, but he said he never really wanted to play in Toronto. He didn't want that pressure. He didn't want to be following his dad's footsteps as far as where he played. And like he had a whole bunch of shitty comments about Toronto. I was really quite surprised when they picked him up. Now,
Same.
like I said, I think he was forced to be in that situation and he had to say something, but I think he went a little overboard. And does he really want to be there? I think he's getting a chance to play with three of the best players in the NHL. So I think he'd probably be pretty happy. And things might have changed, but I will say he stepped up his game and he's playing fantastic.
Well, he's got the same hockey IQ as Marner. He's not quite as good of a skater as Marner. He doesn't quite have the hands and the finesse as Marner, but hockey IQ, he's right there neck and neck. Oh, yeah. But the difference is he can fight and he's tough and he's a pistol, right? Yeah. Whereas Marner's like,
he's a shit disturber,
right?
Exactly. I don't think he's the same IQ as Marner, but what he makes up for, he doesn't have an IQ. He makes up for in heart, and I like to think that he's definitely more physical than Marner. That's for sure. I totally agree.
Sure.
And he causes issues. There's no question. He's one of those guys. He's like a Hartnell. Back in the day, he's like he's one of those guys that can get under your skin and annoy the shit out of you. Very similar to Darcy Tucker, except Tucker was a little tougher, I think. But has some skills and can play the game.
We need that toughness running into the playoffs here for the Leafs, but a pretty good start tonight as Bertuzzi gets that goal on the breakaway with just like a minute into the game. So we got to love to see that him jumping up on that first line and then getting a goal early. And he's at we need him to step up like he has early on this game. And then also, in the last few games, Bertuzzi's getting into those zones and really starting to be the player that he was in Boston. And, that's why we brought him on here, is to be that type of guy. Right. So great to see. Well, here's an offensive face-off here and we'll see what happens.
The team trending in the right direction heading into the playoffs. I'll tell you that. They have pretty consistent
getting thrown out
guys who haven't
the team that
are performing better and just simplifying their game and get things. Oh, we almost had a goal right there. Jake Allen looked like he's about to do a fucking cartwheel.
Yeah, Allen wasn't supposed to start this game, and he ends up starting, which I kind of like for the Leafs. That's a good thing. I think he's a weaker goaltender than their number one guy.
What? So are they just taking it easy with Marner? Because they said he might be back today. I guess
they need him.
No, they don't. Jersey. They haven't needed him.
And New Jersey's trying to prove a point at this point in the league. They're trying. So, if they decide to get physical, you don't want them getting hurt.
No. And why rush that kid back, right? When do we need him? We need him for the playoffs. And if he's had a high ankle sprain, that's not something fun to come back from. And why rush him back? I think, give him an extra week and make sure 100% that he's good to go, because all that we need him to do is come back too early and then re-injure that. And then we don't have him for the first week of the playoffs. And that's the last thing that we want.
There isn't really any games we need him for. Like, we're playing Washington, we're playing Buffalo, just a quick look at the schedule, and then we're playing Florida.
Yeah.
Like, we're going to coast into the playoffs exactly where we are. We're not going to go up. We're not going to go down. Oh,
yeah. Jersey just tied it up there with a wrister.
First shot.
And we're first shot on net, and that gets past Wall. So 6 shots for the Leafs, 1 shot for Jersey so far, and now it's a tie game. So we'll see here. But yeah, that was a great wrister, glove side, and just beats Wall. I don't think he was ready for that. It was Hughes that shot
knuckler.
It was a rolling puck, and actually it was underneath the glove there, just under the glove, and he just missed it. It was kind of a rolling puck, right? So those ones are kind of hard to judge, and with Hughes shooting that, it's going to be at a decent speed, and he's definitely potted a bunch of goals this year, so adds another.
That must
have
deflected off something. Game. That had to have changed direction ever so slightly to start knuckling like that. It was going head over heels the entire route.
Yeah, I was kind of surprised that Wall missed that one, but that's okay. They're going to have lots of opportunity this game to get another X amount of saves. He had 42 saves on Saturday, which is unheard of. And I was saying earlier, boys, in the Core 4 chat while I was chatting about the game, I said, if Wall was prime minister, he may be able to stop as well the carbon tax. That's what I said. But I got some laughs on that one. But
it looked like it might have hit the graze off his ankle. The way it was changing, it was flipping head over heel there, so it looked like it was.
I think when he shot it, it went off the defender's stick. I'm pretty sure.
That's the worst. And for that to be your first shot of the game too, is just coming at you like all wobbly. It's too bad, It's too bad as a player you couldn't learn to just kind of hoist puck and flip it that way, because it really fools the goalies every single time. It seems like they just don't have the practice catching those pucks. They're catching laser beams.
Little bit of puck luck early for Jersey. We'll get ours here in the game, long game. But it looks like they're pressing here. Let's see what the Leafs third line can do here.
Is this third line or second line? McMahon.
It's the second line. We got McMahon out there with Nylander now. So
I think
great pass by Nylander.
McCabe's going to be key to pretty much, I think, the rest of the season. I think he's going to set the tone physically. This kid's starting to play very physical. He's making himself very his presence very aware when he's on the ice. He's making sure he makes at least one hit every time he's on the ice. I don't know if you've been watching, but he makes sure he's hitting somebody hard almost every time he's out there. So I think his mentality's actually changed quite a bit from the first part of the year, where he was just trying to play tough. And if you watch what he's doing here now, when he goes in after somebody, it's a no mercy hit every time.
Absolutely. What's the deal? Remember we were talking about Mitch Marner though for a second. What's the deal with that video? Have you seen this video online going around that claims to be Mitch Marner's dad? Just goosing him, just like just like talking shit and being like, "What are you doing out there?
No,
Come on!" Like just giving him.
I haven't heard that one.
You haven't seen this one? I bet it's out there. No. You got to look it up. See if you can find it.
I will check it out. I'll check it out. But back to the game here. Wow, what a skate here. And Hughes, boy, can he ever skate the puck? And he reminds me almost of the videos I've seen on Bobby Orr. He really skates well with his head up, and he can really go coast to coast, that kid. And boy, one of the best overall defensemen in the league, I would say.
It's so annoying watching this team get a goal and then give one up right away. How many times this year has that happened? Get one and then give up another one within like a few minutes.
So we can't do that in the playoffs. We can't do that in the playoffs.
It's just too much of a momentum sucker.
Yeah, we got to battle it.
Most of the year, they played for 6 or 8 minutes a game. That's all they really play. They play whatever the other team is playing to keep things even as best they can. They lose a couple of, they get a couple of goals scored on them, and they score a couple of goals. They'll play for that extra couple of minutes until they don't need to anymore. And then, in the last, and it's like they lull their opponents to sleep at the end of the game, the last 4 or 5 minutes, all of a sudden they're a different team, and I kind of find that annoying as hell, first of all, when they could, with this team, if they really wanted to play like 6 or 8 minutes in the first part of the game, score 2 or 3 goals, and then all they got to do is play half decent hockey for the rest of the game. And, they're going to score another 2 or 3 goals. So why not get it going to start off with? Get a good start, get physical, get in there, stay in the other end as long as you can. Get a lot of puck possession, puck time, make the other team tired. They've got some of the best skaters in the world on this friggin' team. Why not use that to your advantage? I don't get why they don't. I really don't.
Yeah, I know. It's upsetting to see it. Like, one of the funny jokes I always hear is like, you're a Leaf fan? So you only really watch the last 5 minutes of the game.
Yeah.
And I think it's very true. It's the Leafs really try their hardest right at the end of the game. And if they would have had that effort, at 90% of these hockey games this year, I think that they would have won, more than they've lost those close games. They're not a team that shows up for 60 minutes. And I think that they can do that in the playoffs and play 60 minutes of hockey and really, play every single shift, just concentrate on shift after shift, putting in a great effort every time that you're on the ice. I think that they're going to win more games than they lose in the playoffs. And that's really all that you have to do, right? In the playoffs is get more wins than losses, and you're going to the Stanley Cup Finals. So, we'll see what'll happen here in the next 11 games after this one. It's going to be an interesting run down to the playoff time. I can't believe that we're only saying 12 more games for the Leafs, including this one. It's crazy, boys. The season's almost over. While the real season's starting.
Yeah. Make sure you say we're not only seeing 11 more games.
Yeah,
I hope they're making the playoffs.
No, definitely.
Well, they look like the real deal against the Oilers on Saturday night. I'll tell you that much. That game was fantastic. They came out.
They did look
lying. They did not even get the Oilers a chance. The Oilers looked disheveled, and that Oilers team. And remember, they were like 17 points out of first place at one point in the league, right? At the start of the year, they were discombobulated, and they looked it the other night. So it's definitely not. I don't think the Oilers are a cup winning team. I mean, they have a lot of offensive power, but
couple good saves there in close by Wall there, and he keeps this one a 1-1 game. A couple of really good chances in front there by I can't remember his name there. I missed it. But by the Oilers there, a couple of good chances on the rebound. Mercier turned one chance into three there, and a bunch of good saves there by Wall.
New Jersey. You said the Oilers.
I'm getting some flack in the core. I'm getting some flack in the Core Force chat right now because I was posting the link for this show, saying trying people tuning in and commenting on our antics here, but
I did share it with them.
Someone said no advertising, and then someone else commented, but you can advertise your OnlyFans.
Oh, too funny. Definitely can advertise on that stream. Don't you worry about that, Dylan. That's something that we can definitely advertise. I did send them over a link to
well, that's what I thought, but one of the moderators there, Shane, who's I don't know him that well, but
we'll tell Shane that it's Keep Your Head Up Hockey and to talk to Dan Lavelle.
Tune in. Talk to
just
Dan.
mention to say, it's Jamie Young's show. Talk to Dan Lavelle about that. All right. Well, let's keep the show going. 11-11 here. We'll make a wish, and I wish that the Stanley Cup Finals include the Toronto Maple Leafs this year. Boy, oh boy, that'd be a dream. So hopefully that happens. I think that if we can get by the first round and beat one of the best teams like Boston or Florida, it's really, how we play that'll really stop us from getting there. If we can beat one of their teams, they're best in the league. So if we can beat one of their teams, then we can beat anybody.
Well, I'm going to tell you one thing. The one team that I think now to watch out for is Tampa Bay. They've come on fairly strong in the last little while. They've got obviously they've got a core there that's been around for a long time. They've got the championship pedigree that has been missing, obviously, in Toronto. And they're just steady. They're always in the mix. It doesn't matter what year, how long it's been. They've had one bad year in the last 20. It's I'll actually be in. I'm actually going to see the last game of the season in Tampa, and I think they're playing New Jersey, if I remember correctly.
Nice.
I'll be at that game, so maybe I'll do a little broadcast from the game.
Love that.
Yeah,
Love that.
I'm going to Innisbrook there to play golf for 11 days. So I'll the last night we're there, which is I think the 13th. So whoever they're playing, I'm pretty sure it's New Jersey on the 13th. So I'll be seeing that live.
You're talking May 13th, eh?
Yes.
TJ Brody had a little chance. He's looking pretty good. Comments are pumping his tires a little bit.
I think they had a little talk with Gregor too, because I don't know, he's been kind of lacking the last little while. He's got all sorts of speed and hasn't been doing very much of late. But I've noticed the last two games, he got sat last game at some point. Last game of the game before, I can't remember. it looked like he was sitting for quite a bit. And I think that there was a message sent because he seems to be a lot more agitated while he's playing. He's playing a little bit more of an edge, and he's definitely getting involved a little bit more. So I always say that if the Leafs are going to go anywhere, they got to have that fourth line running solid, and the third line, of course. I'm pretty sure that there's going to be a couple of messages sent in the next 11 games because if you want my honest opinion, I think Gregor is probably better than he's shown.
He's the odd man out.
Yeah, he's better, but he's better than he's shown. I don't know why. I don't know if it's because this team. The one thing that we have a problem with is the team. The team is very talented, right? You've got a super talented team for the first two lines, like two of the best lines in the world, and then you've got a really good third line, And I think that when you look at who's left, especially when you got Revo in the mix. It's going to make it hard for anybody to stand out. You're not going to get that time. And you look at even the core four, they're, they take sometimes 30 minutes to get going. So if you're only getting 4 minutes in a game, it's kind of hard, maybe even 6, whatever. It's still hard to show. You got to get out there with jump. But if you get stuck playing against a line that's better than you, like each time, you don't get a good chance to show.
Here's the thing, okay? Like, you look at all the really good teams that have had success in the history of the NHL. It's always guys that make a name for themselves. The Leafs have never had a guy that was nobody that made a name for himself. And the guy that's doing it right now is Bobby McMann. What happened in Toronto? And he's the guy to do it. Someone needs to do it. But what happens in Toronto, as soon as you start making a name for yourself, the fucking mental pressure gets to you and something happens. The media's on you. We're like dogs here, man. We're our own worst enemy in this town when it comes to being fans of this team. And I just wonder, I'm concerned for any player that's going to come out and become an elite player out of, or even just some kind of next level player unexpectedly, if they can handle the pressure and keep the consistency. Like, you look at teams like, sorry, I thought someone scored there for a sec. But if you look at teams like Detroit, who had Zetterberg and Datsyuk, guys who just came out of the system, were drafted like way down in the ranks. They made that team into a Stanley Cup winning team, not just they made them into a legendary team, right? A dynasty. And that's what the Leafs have not had in years. We've drafted, we've traded, we've mixed it up. This is actually the first we've made very little moves in the playoffs. And the team seems to be responding to that because guys are like, okay, the GM trusts us. The coach trusts us. This is the group that we're going to stick with. We all like each other. We're all buddies. You better believe that team is rooting for TJ Brody tonight because he's been a warrior for the last few years for us, right? And I'm sure they don't like the fact, Bertuzzi almost had two. They don't like the fact that TJ's on the bench, I bet. Bertuzzi's lighting it up right now.
He's playing great.
He said the day when he started scoring, when he got off that shitty streak, he said, all I need to do is get one. And then he scored 2 that night, and he's been on fire ever since.
This line's awesome, man. Austin Matthews and a couple of greasers, hey? Just loving this line.
This line's great, and I think that they got to keep this line.
Yeah.
This line is great.
Look at that. Domi passing again. Like, his passes are, like, even in a bad spot, it's right on the tape, Like, and I think, honestly, I do think he passes as well as Marner. I'll tell you that. I think he actually passes as well as Marner.
That's what I said. He's got the same hockey sense as Marner does.
Well, I don't know about the sense, but
he probably passes better because Marner. No, I wouldn't say better, but
Marner's assists kind of say it all. But you're also playing with the best player in the league, pretty much.
Right? So you can score.
Yeah. It's a hard one to. it's a hard one to sell if you're you're playing with the best
he can
guy.
Score with the knob of his stick if he wants to. For Christ's sake, guy's unbelievable.
This is another kid too. I'm telling you, Benoit is not taking any shit from anybody.
No,
I'm loving the way he's playing. Do you see that? He just pushed that guy's head into the glass. I loved it. You sometimes you got to play a little dirty. You want these guys to fear you when they're coming down the ice. They want to be having their head on a swivel when they know you're on the ice. I guarantee you, that's all he's thinking. And McCabe's the same.
And Holberg, 2 goals the other night. So he's cementing his position on that team. I like Holmberg, Camp, and I hope Robertson stays in, man. I don't know why Marner's.
I still think Robertson's going to be a star in this league. I think I don't think he's going to be with the Leafs long. To be honest with you, I think next year after, he might be gone. Maybe next year they're going to look at trading him again. He's a guy they could get a super good defenseman for, I think. And then they'd be done. They wouldn't need to do anything else. They could, do like the best teams do a little fine tuning here and there. But, the best teams always have guys that work on their game, that always try to improve. And that's the one thing.
This is ridiculous. They've got 17 shots in the first period. They're averaging a shot every minute.
Well, this is the start that we need in the playoffs, running in the playoffs. And this is the starting that we're talking about. Like, Leafs normally sleep in the first period, right? And this is a great start. 17 shots in the first 14 minutes. You got to absolutely love that. And I think that this Bertuzzi line with Domi and Matthews may be one to keep heading into the playoffs. Like, and that frees up Marner to go on the second line, right? Like, that's that's pretty fantastic. I'm loving this first line.
Keith, you know what this Marner injury does? It gives Keith a look of what else he's got if he does decide that he has to mix it up. If we're down a couple games, if we go down 2-0 in a couple games and he has to mix it up, he's going to probably put this line together. I don't think this line stays together when Marner comes back. I mean, the stats speak for themselves, but because, obviously Matthews and Marner probably are the most dynamic and probably have the most points combined as line mates in the league, I would think. I don't know who else.
That doesn't mean it's better. You need to spread it out.
I know.
It doesn't mean it's better.
You're right.
I think what this line does for Matthews is shows Matthews that, you know what, you can play some physical, play physical as well. Because the Bertuzzi and Domi are playing physical and they're going and getting the puck. And if you watch, I think this is exactly what Matthews needed, because Marner's is a fucking pussy. I don't care what anybody says. He blocks some shots, though. I'll give him credit. He does block shots, but he's a pussy when it comes to physicality, which is crazy because I'd rather get crunched by somebody every time than block a fucking shot. And I've done my fair share of both. And I'll tell you, every time I'd rather get hit, and it just getting hit by a puck, especially when it's like your feet, your ankles, and whatever, and then you're done. Physicality, he only weighs 175 pounds. You hit him, he can he's light enough to skim across the ice. He doesn't even,
sure. 175, if that. Eh?
I think, you think he is, because he's 6 feet tall. He's fairly tall.
Is he 6 feet tall?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he's 6 feet. So
on skates?
No, he's 6 feet. I think personally.
What a move by Knies!
What a save there!
There's the Matthew Knies we saw at the end of last year. I feel like he came into the playoffs and was just
he was great. He was great in the playoffs.
All right, here's a good shot here on the point.
Look at the way they're passing the puck.
Look at the way they're battling. They're battling. They're moving the puck around.
This is what
21 shows they got already. It's just
a confidence builder,
right?
It's a confidence builder, and you need guys like Brody right now to play well.
Because they knew we were doing the watch party. That's why.
They're showing up. They're like,
we need to be 1-0 with the watch party. We might have to watch party every single game if we have this kind of performance out of the boys.
The success rate. We'll see what the success rate is, and we'll ride that winning streak until they lose. How about that? Okay, I always watch Leaf games anyway, so might as well jump on and share the excitement with the folks that are watching at home. But yeah, no, it's good to get on here and watch the Leafs with you boys. Always a pleasure. Cheers to whoever's watching out there. If you're our one viewer, why don't you comment and say hello? I'll throw your comment live on the screen.
It's probably my mom.
Yeah. Hey, Mom, how do you think the Leafs are doing so far tonight?
Just supporting my son.
Yeah,
like, there's got to be somebody. There's got to be somebody who's bored out there that wants to join the. Tell you what, you get on. We'll send you the link. You jump into the show, make your comment. Hey, why don't we get them live on here? We'll have a little interview.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah,
that'd be wild.
Do it.
That'd be wild. We got 2 viewers now, which is even better. Yeah, thanks so much for tuning in tonight, folks. We're doing a live Leafs and Devils watch party, something different tonight. Normally we have our Tuesday show where we talk NHL. Thought we'd do something different tonight and try this out. Hopefully we'll do this running into the playoffs and watch the games live with you. That might be fun as well. We'll see how tonight goes.
Who's watching? Who's on there now? Can you tell?
Throw us a question.
I can't really tell. This is 2 people live because we are streaming on YouTube as well as Twitch. We've got 2 YouTube watchers, but I can't tell who is actually watching. You never know.
I'm feeling excited. 2 people.
Well, 2 people. Yay.
You got to start somewhere.
Whatever.
You got to start
exactly
somewhere.
Right. And we got to practice. We got to keep getting better and better.
This is just. We'd just be watching the game by ourselves anyway. So why not just watch it together, videotape it, and hopefully something stupid and funny will come out of our mouth and fucking away you go.
And we're starting our TikTok here shortly. We're doing the shorts, right? So we'll have kind of our highlights on from the show as shorts for you guys to watch on TikTok here shortly. If you haven't joined our Facebook group, definitely do so. Keep your head up hockey on the Facebook group, and we'll have all of our links there for your viewing pleasure. Back with only 2:45 left in the first. It is a 1-1 game, New Jersey and Toronto. In Toronto, Leafs out shooting New Jersey 22-7 currently. And what a start here for the Leafs. But I got to also say, what a start for Jake Allen with 21 saves in the first period. On pace to have 63 saves on pace. Boy, oh boy. That's pretty crazy to think that we can maybe pepper 63 shots at him tonight. I wonder how many he'll actually save. Everybody likes to play in Toronto because I think that everybody thinks that, all the eyes are on them when they're here. And I think it's a very true statement. I think that in Canada, people that watch the Leafs more so than any other team. And when you're in Toronto, you want to play your best because all eyes are on you and you get national attention in Canada when you're here playing in our building.
There's a lot of great games on tonight. What a schedule, eh?
12 games tonight on the sketch. Yeah. There's some good ones. What is it? It's at Boston and Florida tonight.
Yeah. That's a mucked up game. I'm watching a few highlights already.
Yeah. What's the score there? Boston, Florida.
Mucking it up. 2-1 right now in the sec. Oh, look at this. See? This is the Leaf team that I've come to know. Hey, 22 shots, 1 goal, 7 shots, 2 goals. That is,
Keith doesn't look like you're really happy, and I don't blame him. We had a really good good start. For the first 90 2-on-1 of this first period, and that 2-on-1 breakdown, and a great pass over, and a one-timer by the captain there for the Devils, and that one definitely get by a lot of goaltenders, not just Wall. That's not really his fault.
What are you gonna do on that one? Hey, that's
not much.
How did that even happen?
You know what? I wish more people were as agile as the Flower is. The way he jumps across the full body going across, he makes those types of saves. I think that those types of saves can be made if you just throw your body across. Don't just lean over. Throw your body across. It just can hit you. You know what I mean?
Another chance. Is Wall that acrobatic as a goalie? We've never really seen him. He doesn't strike me as an acrobatic goalie.
Yeah, but
Samsonov is more acrobatic than Wall is, for sure.
What were you saying there about the 2-on-1 there, J-Dog?
just that on 2-on-1s, he like most. If you look at any of the better goalies in the league that make a lot of stops on 2-on-1s or 2-on-0 or 1-on-0, like the guys that are the most agile are the ones that are making the big saves. There's no question. Or the exact opposite, the guys that don't make any movement whatsoever. And I know that's funny, but if you get guys that have a little too much movement, they slide across and they're either too far out of the net, too far over. They don't anchor themselves on the post. There's a lot of different things you could say, I guess, and obviously it depends on the move that's being made on you. But those one-timers, you got to get your body thrown across.
For sure.
Got a little PP coming up. A little PP here.
I shouldn't have said a word about Allen though earlier, and saying he had a crappy friggin' save percentage. That's gone up tonight. I guarantee you that.
Oh yeah, no, he's playing good, and what a big hit there, eh? What
like
a beauty
when I got
hit.
out of the pool and it's cold water.
Oh, we got to get a little bit of rough with Benoit. But look at this hip check, boy!
That's
oh boy, just a beaut.
And he gives him a little shot after, like, ha.
Yeah, Ball not pleased whatsoever, and that's why he gets.
Ball's a big kid.
Who's that guy? Ball or
Ball? He's a big kid.
Is that Ball?
Oh, it's big boy.
No, it's
man, Benoit took him out, and that was a clean.
That's not an L, is it?
Yeah.
Is that Ball or
B-A-H-L?
B-A-H-L, Ball.
Ball?
Yeah, Ball. Yeah, Ball. But boy, what a great hit there by Benoit. And he
sounds like he needs to be in another AHL.
Another penalty drawn. Benoit, tough son of a bitch, that guy, eh?
Come on.
Holy shit.
Jamie, you didn't even hear my joke. Fuck. Jesus Christ.
Oh, I missed it, bro. Sorry.
I said it sounds like he needs to be in the AHL.
That's a good one. I like it. He probably heard that a few times.
Imagine. That's the worst. That's the worst last name for a peripheral hockey player who's just a up and down guy.
Yeah, well, he's a big dude and he can skate by the look of him. So I don't know. He might. You never know. Like
he's 6'6".
Yeah, he's a big dude. And mind you, Benoit's 6'4", isn't he?
Good for Benoit to take him down, eh?
What a beauty, freaking hip check. And you don't see a lot of those anymore. You're like, that's an art that's boy, oh boy, man. You don't see a lot of it anymore. And I love the hip check. I used to play with a guy named Chris Lynch when I played my time in hockey. And, growing up, I played with him 14, 15, 16, 17, and 18. And this kid, Chris Lynch, could fucking throw a hip check, man. And he did it all the fucking time. Right defenseman would just fucking plow the guys right over his back. And then there'd be a huge fight. And then I'd be getting involved. And oh my gosh, man, some memories coming back. But yeah, the hip check is a dying art in the NHL. And I want to see more of it. So nice job, Benoit.
I'd like to see more of it too. But the referees end up calling like a sub hit or whatever they're calling it. I can't remember the name of it now, but They that's why it has to be absolutely perfect, or they're talking penalty, which is like a like tripping, or I don't know what they're calling it. I can't remember. Some sort of sub hit, whatever they're saying it is. I can't remember.
Clipping?
But anyway, it's
clipping.
It sucks.
Clipping.
Yeah, clipping a lot of the time. They'll call it. Yeah, they'll call it clipping.
Like what you need to do to your toenails once in a while, there, Jay.
I wear flip flops all the time. I just drag them on the sand out here.
Just dragging them on the concrete. That'll shave them down.
I'm on the beach every day. I just let the sand.
Sometimes you got to climb those palm trees and grab a coconut. So you need the tree climbers.
Did you see what I posted today?
No.
Oh, dudes. So I'll in between periods I'll post my my video. You can put it on. This dude is in my front yard, climbs up the palm tree with two ropes, one wrapped around his thigh and the other one wrapped around where he could, like, they both had a little harness in it, almost like a saddle harness for your foot, like off a horse. Just the harness, but your foot. So anyway, so he steps up into the one, pulls the rope up, puts his leg in his thigh in the other one and pushes up with his thigh and then pulls himself up again, steps up into the other one and whatever. But the best part is before he goes up, he's like right out my window here and he looks over at me, looks up and does this. And I start killing myself up and he goes, well, he's Dominican, doesn't speak a lick of English. And he's just, I'll tell you, this This guy was like about 5 feet tall, but he had arms on him the size of my calves, man. He was jacked.
Just jacked.
And,
I guess so. Climbing palm trees all day.
And he's smart too, because all the boys were cleaning the front yard, and as all the palm trees needed to be cut. And I'm telling you, when these branches fall out, and they do, they're like 30 pounds. If they drop, like a lot of people get killed here by coconuts and the branches of the trees, because people sit under them for shade and shit. And there's probably like 15 or 20 deaths a year here from that. And it's Dominican, so you don't even know. There could be like 100 deaths a year. They don't keep track of shit here. So they come down, and when they come down, they actually take chunks out of the brick sometimes. So like it's anyway. So they cut down about I'd say about 4 half-ton loads of branches off the palm trees, and probably about 35 or 40 coconuts out of the trees there. And then they just hauled it all away, and it took them all about
death by coconut tree
an hour and a half,
right?
An hour and a half, and they were done. And like, this is work that would take like 3 hours back home for anybody, you know. Like, these guys just know what they're doing, and they're physical, man. They're small people, but they're physical.
Well, talk about physical.
Here's
that big hit by Benoit.
Johnny T.
Gotta love it.
Here with Johnny T.
Johnny T talking here. Yeah, we're gonna hear. I'm not listening. I don't want to affect the stream, but
he's just gonna come up with the excuses of why they didn't score 20 goals.
Talking here about the
they're dangerous off the rush, and but
they're talking about the power play. In the start of the second play, and they want to know how he thought they have to do, and he just said, they got to be diligent and work hard every chance that they get, especially on the power play, especially against a goalie like Allen. He's saying that they had a bunch of shots, and they got to really get the opportunities when they have an opportunity to put it behind them. So we'll see what happens. I kind of lost Dylan's video there, but it is what it is. We'll hopefully have him come back. But yeah, no, it's interesting with 3 games against the Devils. I'm hoping that we can get 3 wins here against them. But now down
3 games against the Devils down the stretch.
Yeah, man, it's crazy. We got them 3 times because we haven't played them all year. This is our first matchup this year against them. And
did the Devils have like a crazy start to the year though this year? Like they were like in first.
But they had better players on the team though. They traded them away. So I think if you watch that goal, if I was the Jersey coach, I would have called for looking for that to be offside. I think Bertuzzi was actually offside on that goal.
I think so too.
Jeez, that's a surprise because usually they catch that, right?
Yeah, I just to me it looked like
I gotta go back and look at that again. Hold on.
I think he was close to a foot.
You've got one coach. You've got 2 assistant coaches, and then you got like 15 or 20
that was onside,
people
barely
watching from each team up in the fucking rafters, sitting there with their computers looking for offsides. Like, we've seen it game after game where as soon as there's an offside, even by a fucking fraction of an inch, their fucking coaches challenge, like the teams they've got the staff to literally do that. That's your whole job, is watching that fucking blue line. Sign me up. Thank you. I'd like to do that job. Probably making, $60,000 a year just to be a fucking blue line fucking watcher for the fucking Toronto Maple Leafs or the New Jersey Devils,
and the
staff now.
Those guys got buddies there too, Jamie, that are like texting the entire time. Oh yeah, that was outside. That was outside. Yeah, that was a goal. That was a goal. Like, imagine texting your buddy who works. He's like, would you even be able to tell your buddies that you have that job? Like, die hard, like you live in Toronto.
Yeah,
that's your job because the war room's in Toronto. That's your job, and all your buddies know that's your job, and who knows? They got money on the line, like whatever. Like, yeah, that's the goal. That's a goal. So, like, do they have one guy? Is it a conference? I know they talk to the ref, so there must be some kind of like vote at the end of that conversation. Like, they got the headset on, and they're like,
no idea.
Yeah, we got 5 for a goal and 3 for a non-goal. So we're gonna call it a goal. Just getting the headset on.
Oh,
are they even talking about the goal? They're probably like, Yeah, you want to go? You want to go check out that bar again tonight? The one we went to last week when we were in Toronto. Like, shouldn't we be checking this replay? Oh yeah, goal. Like flip. Oh,
Yeah,
flip. Get Johnny to flip a coin over there. I'm pretty sure that's what they do for goaltender interference.
Sorry,
Offsides.
James. Oh, sorry.
Offsides, no problem. Goal, no goal, iffy. Goaltender interference, fucking coin flip every time, right? It's like,
oh, for sure.
Jamie,
like, sure.
Play it. I sent you the video on
Yeah.
the Messenger for Keep Your Heads Up. See if you can play it on here to show this guy fucking chopping the street out.
I'd love to if I can get it. Yeah, if I can get it, I will. Here it is. Okay. Let me see if I can get that up here for us here, folks. Should be able to though. Yeah, give me a sec here. Oh yeah, holy shit. All right, let's go here and we'll get that pulled up here. It's gonna back it up a little bit and we'll get it ready to go. But yeah, no, I can definitely do that. Give me a second here. Preset, share screen, and we'll go to pull that up here 1 second.
So just so you know, the ropes are not tied. They're like wrapped around about 3 times. Like there's just twisted underneath. It's not tied in. So the rope isn't even, it's just because of the pressure. It's leaving it. So it's I don't know how to explain it. It's just, there's no knot in the end of the rope.
Okay, here we go. Here it is.
Here it is.
Look at this dude.
Oh, look at him, man. He's just so high up there. And cutting these huge branches. Yeah, man. Talk about freaking getting killed by one of those damn things. They're huge.
So he's got 2 ropes. You see one at his foot and one at his waist. It's on his thigh there. And that's all he does is just shimmies one up. He follows the next one.
Crazy.
That's insane.
Well, wow.
There we go. Thanks for sharing.
Was that Samantha Fox that died today?
Samantha Fox. Let me see here.
It was in the top of your feed.
See, I'll tell you. Yeah, Samantha Fox. Yeah, died today.
Fuck, she was hot. I had a poster of her on my wall, and
Rest in peace.
When I was a kid.
That's dying early too. She must have been what, like 57, 58. Like
she's only 2 years older than me.
Man, well, that's too bad.
I'm 54 now, but I'm 55 soon. But so, yeah.
So we're running into the end of the playoffs, and we got to really decide on what goalie that we're going to go with here as Leaf fans. And well, we don't decide, but as a Leaf staff, what goalie should we start? Samsonov, Wall? Should we start Jones? Should we start Murray? I think we all give them a chance. They're all 4 great goaltenders, and with 11 games down after this one, give each of them 3 starts, I would say, and see who's really on their game. What are your thoughts there, boys, on that? Like, should they give everybody a chance to see kind of who's playing the best? Because Samsonov just got hurt. Like, Wall's playing. He's playing good, 40 some odd saves, on Saturday night. He's playing good tonight. I missed a couple tonight, but still playing pretty solid. We got Jones, we got Murray. What are your thoughts there on the goalie race here, J-Dog? What do you think about running the playoffs and what the Leafs should do about their goaltending?
Well, I think it depends on the way that the points are working right now. I don't want to give away any games. If we can get away from playing Boston the first game or the first series, I'd be happy with that. Yeah. I don't care who else they play. I just don't want to play Boston. I think it's a mental. I don't think they're a better team. I just think it's a mental hump that they can't get over, and I don't think they will. I can't see it unless they get a win under their belt first. So I'd like to see them play anybody else but Boston to begin with, and so I think if I would ride Samsonov as much as we can. I wouldn't mind giving that giant 6'7" kid that's playing for the Marlies a chance. Matt Murray is now in the mix apparently, but I definitely wouldn't be playing him. I wouldn't start him at all. I wouldn't bring him into this season. It's too late. It's too long. I don't care if he plays if he's in like 20 practices from here on in. I wouldn't give him a chance.
Does he play over Jones one night? Maybe.
Well,
does Jones get another start too?
I think Jones is a fucking great goalie.
Great problem. That's a great problem.
Yeah.
That's like having like multiple girlfriends. It's like a great problem to have.
Yeah, it's not a bad thing to have, right? When
Well,
you're a single guy.
Well, it depends on how much money you have, I guess.
Right? Well, the Leafs got lots of money.
Yeah. Yeah, it's
I just sent you the link for the Mitch Marner's dad thing. I guess it was like a news show from like 2011. And then like it resurfaced on TikTok or one of the YouTube or whatever. And Mitch Marner's dad, he's a dog, man. He was giving it to Mitchie. Like talk about the foundations of trying to make the championship, right?
I watched Mitchie play in London, Ontario when I lived there, and I used to be, I wasn't a season ticket holder, but I would hand pick games for the Knights, and my dad and I would go to probably 20 or 30 games per year, especially when Mitch was on the team, because we just absolutely adored the kid. Another guy that we adored watching was Nazem Kadri, play as well. We were huge fans of him. And like Mitch Marner was probably one of the best players that I've ever watched in the OHL. He would dominate a hockey game, that guy. Throughout the whole game, he would control the damn thing when he was on the ice. He would just take the puck and he would just control the thing, go down the ice, 2 passes in the back of the net.
He scored the goal here this year, I think. One of, anyway.
But Easton Cohen, though, if we're going to bring up the Knights, boy, what a year he's had. Over 100 points this year. And he had a 40 some odd game point streak that I do believe is still ongoing. The Knights won the regular season kind of trophy, quote unquote, for the most points in the league. So they're going into the playoffs red hot. And I still fucking say it. I really do. I really think that the Leafs should go ahead and try and convince the London Knights coach, and his name escapes me right now. But have him come on as the Leafs coach. Give him enough money to leave his beloved London Knights and come on as the Leafs coach, because I really think that he is the best coach in hockey, period. To have a team over a 30-year span and to be able to coach that team so fucking well, to win numerous championships and basically to quote unquote dominate the OHL in his whole career, says a lot. If you can do it with young adults, so you can definitely do it with the NHL and adult men. I don't see any reason why he can't, and I don't know why I can't think of his name. I'm looking at it right now. I'm sorry, Dale Hunter. What a coach that he's been.
Trying to remember. I thought
Dale Hunter.
Yeah.
Dale Hunter, man. What a coach he's been.
He's a legend too in the NHL. Yeah. Give me a break.
I got a good story. I got a good story about that. So I'm in Montreal. I'm at the Mies Buying Show. I was working for the Sport Connection in North Bay, which is now closed. Anyway, we go to this big buying show. It's like an underground convention center in Montreal. And anyway, just outside of that, we decided to go for a couple of my boss, Tony Fava. Shout out to him. I haven't talked to him in a long time. Anyway, him and I decided to go watch the hockey game after we went to, I can't remember the name of the place, but it's a very famous pastrami on rye with mustard place. I'm trying to think of the name of it. It's got a
Montreal smoked meat.
Yeah. It's one of those places. Fuck, it was good. Anyway, we go around the corner and to this hotel. We saw that there was a couple of the games were being played, and we decided to go watch the game. Well, we walk into this room and there's this great big screen TV at that time I had never seen a TV that big in my life. So I'm standing there in awe, and Tony's standing beside me. And I hear, "Hey, get the fuck out of the way. Who the fuck do you think this is?" Only other people in this bar, Tim, Dale, and Hunter, and fucking Jim Popinski. And they're all fucking Popinski. I turn around. I'm about to fucking say, fuck you. And I was like,
Hunter, Popinski, and who?
Tim and Dale Hunter.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did they all play for Dallas at one point?
I don't remember. I know they were playing. Most of them were playing. No, I don't know. I don't remember. Not at the same time. I don't know. Anyway, fuck. I was literally about to turn around and tell him to shut the fuck up, and I realized how big fucking Tim Hunter was, and I was like, yeah, okay, sorry. We didn't see them anyway, right? It was like we weren't in their they weren't in our line of view when we walked in, and it was just this open room, but the TV was right there, and we just stood right in front of it, right? I thought, fuck. I met Gretzky that week, and I met Gordie Howe that week, so it was kind of cool.
Love it.
That's pretty
Love
sweet.
it. So
I wanted to get your
go.
opinion, getting back to the Marner dad situation. It kind of brought up a lot of popular chatter online about coaching kids and these millennials and how you deal with balancing being a hard ass coach. And like John Tortorella spoke about recently as well, because he's like pretty much the only hard ass coach left. And obviously Keith's got his, we talked a bit about how Keith is more of the millennials style where it's like a softer approach. So where do you guys land on this? Because I was coaching this C team. It's like kids who barely played hockey can never play hockey. And there's some days where I just want to bust their ass about stuff, you know? Like I feel like you can do it in a nice way and be like, you gotta go for the puck. Like go for the puck. Like this is a sport. This isn't like a tea party.
Definitely want to talk about this for sure. But we got the Leafs just starting up here again. We'll comment kind of live and interrupt the conversation if something happens in the game. But number one, Dylan, I think it's what level you're coaching. And when I say level, are you coaching house league or are you coaching competitive hockey? If you're putting your son or daughter into competitive sport, you are doing it for numerous reasons. Number one, they're good. Number two, coaches are going to teach them something different than you're going to be able to teach them as a parent. I'm a parent. I get it. But there's so much I can teach my son or daughter, what's right and wrong and values and instill into them. And how much are they going to listen to me truthfully, right? A coach will, they lay down the hammer if they have to and instill things in them that a parent cannot. And sometimes, coach got to get nasty and yell and scream and tell them, what's right and wrong. I think about some of the best life lessons that I've learned was playing baseball.
If that was your
kid,
would you be okay with your kid being screamed at if they were fucking up every
fuck yeah, fucking yell
yes.
fucking pucks at my
and that's the difference. And that's the difference.
That's me though. Right.
I know, but there's a lot of parents nowadays, especially new parents, so you can't, it's the kid is never wrong. It hurts their feelings. It's like, can you stop putting so much emphasis on these kids' feelings? That's all they're going to think about is how their feelings are all the time. It's like, if you spend your entire life worrying about your feelings, I don't know what's going to come of you. Like, honestly,
I want to hear what Jay's got to say, though, about this. Yeah, Jay, Coach Jay, let's hear from you, buddy. I know you've been coaching for years. What are your thoughts on the millennials and these parents that really need a slap upside the head?
Well, at the start of the year, this is a decision that should be talked about at the start of the year with the parents. And you're going to know within like 2 games anyway of the season, into the season, whether you have a discussion with them or not, whether they were actually on board or not. There's a lot of parents that don't want to speak up in front of everybody, but they'll come to you afterwards and then they'll give their whining and complaining. Or there's a lot of parents. There's also the other side of it. There's a lot of parents saying, "Holy fuck, man, boot their fucking arse," and they don't want to say that in front of everybody because they don't want to be the bad guy either. So there's a balance that has to be, that has to happen there. But you know what? It's up to the coach. And the coach is, if the parents are in agreement that this guy is going to be the coach at the start of the year, you all agree, then you're going to play the way I said, you're going to play by my rules. You're going to play by my game. And if you don't like it, you're going to sit the fucking bench or don't come, And here's the thing. Why are your feelings more important than the guy beside you? And they shouldn't be. Right. It's a team aspect. It's a team game. And the team begins with the coach. And it works its way down from there. Because at this level, it's different when you're talking about the NHL. Coaches are basically just motivators, and they're fixing.
Yeah,
the excellent shot. What a shot! He's just got. I think he's got.
He just talked about. He's just
got one of the best shots ever. Him and Matthews have just got the release is just sick. But anyway, all I think is that the parents need to get on board with what life's all about. Sports don't just teach you about sports. They teach you about life. They teach you about teamwork. They teach you about individual work ethic, teamwork work ethic, and your actual worth as a person. Yeah, you think that doesn't translate, you're out of your mind, because your worth as a person can begin in sports. You can actually get a feeling of accomplishment by being part of something bigger than you. And this is what the individualism that has been happening over the last 50. I'll say this, as much as I love the X Games, man, I fucking also hate them. Because that's where individualism started in sports, and kids. There was a big drop off in team sports when the X Games started. And as much as I love the sports themselves, don't get me wrong, the individualism and the showing off and the demeanor changed when the X Games came in. That whole cocky, arrogant motherfucking attitude that I never liked. Now, knowing it, listen, hockey players have that too. Don't get me wrong, but if they're a hockey player, most hockey players are team players. The best teams are made up of the guys that love to go to war with each other. They love the fucking war room afterwards. You're talking stories. They go out at night, they party, they have a couple of beers. They're picking up chicks. They're doing whatever they're doing. You know what I mean? All these stories create a unit. It's very much like the military. It's very much like anything else that you want to do. But team sports create people. And
did you see the video, Jay, of the mic'd up video when Hyman got his 50th? By the way, congratulations to Zach Hyman. What a deserving show. And the video of him mic'd up was unbelievable. It was like, thanks, guy. Thank you. And everyone's like, yeah, way to go, Hyman. Like, I'm glad you got it. I'm glad you did it, buddy. It was so nice.
Congratulations.
Man. It was just a great moment.
Yeah.
Right. And that's what you're talking about in team sports. That's the kind of thing.
Yeah, I'm going to tell you one thing, Jamie, that I'm just going to go on about though is you had said that parents aren't going to instill those things. I coached both my kids, or I was involved in their sports somehow or another. My one kid ended up going to judo instead. He wasn't he just didn't want to be a hockey player. But my other son, he was never like a super finesse player. He was never.
But there's a team aspect to things like judo and stuff.
Absolutely. I just wasn't. I wasn't like his coach or anything in that.
Oh man! Wow, with a freaking beautiful pass there for that goal. Boy, oh boy!
Is that Domi again?
Lead.
I wanted to comment quickly on that Nylander goal because I think he meant to go top shelf and he just kind of
missed it.
He missed it and it went right between the legs.
Yeah,
what a goal! Who passed that? It was Brody again getting another apple. He's got two assists tonight.
Oh, that's a nice pass.
Yeah, pretty.
Can he ever shield the puck?
Was that
Lagesson? He just put his body in front of him.
Yeah, I know.
Like, look what he does, and he was behind him.
Yeah,
and he had nothing. He just took
a small. Who has that defenseman? But he's outmatched on that one.
Matthews is a monster. He's
28 shots now.
Bro, they're on pace for 60 shots. What's the record?
Shots.
I gotta find the record for most shots.
Well, how many goals is that for Matthews now? 50 what?
59?
59? He could get 70 goals this year, boys.
Yeah, he really could. He really could. He's right there. And with 11 games left, if he just gets a point or a goal a game, he's gonna hit 70 goals, which hasn't done in our era of hockey. And I just
maybe yours has been done in mine.
Okay, so most shots in a game was Boston versus the Nordiques. Remember how shitty the Nordiques were back in the 90s before?
Well, they were also very good when they moved to Colorado. Don't forget about that.
Yeah, that's true. 73 shots. Boston Bruins hold the record for 73 and 72 shots.
Oh, wow. What a goal there. Oh, wow. And once again,
goalie interference, though.
The New Jersey Devils, they come right back, boys.
Just watch. There might be goalie interference. Take a look here, maybe.
Well, we'll see. But I tell you, Leafs get a lead and then they give it back. And it's kind of unfortunate, only 14 shots on net so far for the Devils. And they come right back.
Yeah.
And with a beautiful pass in
No,
front, Meyer
wrong.
gets
This
a
is
goal
typical
there.
Leafs coverage. Oh, is that interference?
I
That
don't know.
might be.
He's raising the
but
crease.
the Leaf
I don't
guys
know
right
if he
behind
pushed.
him.
Or is that offside here?
Yeah, I don't know. The Leaf
Yep.
goal was
Oh,
offside.
that doesn't
They're
matter,
showing
though.
that the Matthews goal was offside.
Oh, yeah,
but
that
it
was
still
offside.
counted. So got away with that one. And like I was saying, we
Like
got
I said,
40 guys per team watching for fucking blue lines. And we get away with that one there. Boy, oh boy. That's interesting.
Okay,
Wow.
I gotta
Yeah, no,
run.
keeps-
I need like a little break here, boys. But I'll be back in a minute.
All good, man. Yeah, we're going live, and it's a long game, so completely understand.
Yeah, to get back to what I was saying there, Jamie, about coaching my oldest son, and it didn't really matter. Actually, both my kids, the work ethic that came from both my kids, it translated as they got older. My oldest son went through a little period of not knowing what he was doing, kind of thing. But we all go through that kind of shit. But after every game when I was coaching, his games. Like I said, he wasn't necessarily the best player on the team, but I would have parents come to me or come to my wife and they say, I wish my kid was had half the heart that your kid does, the work ethic and whatever. Because I'll tell you, my oldest son was 130 pounds at best playing hockey, and he was the hardest hitter on his team or one of the hardest hitters. He would shit talk everybody. And I will say this, he was pretty clever as far as the shit talking was concerned, could get under your skin. He was very Darcy Tucker-like, and he would fight. Not that he ever really had to fight too much, but he'd get into, pushing and shoving matches and stuff, but he's 130 pounds. Most guys aren't going to fight him, but they're going to try and nail him. Well, the thing was, he, like I said, Marner, he's so light. My son would get hit and he would just skim across the ice. If he got hit across the boards, it would be a thing. He'd get crunched, but he just bounced off it. And he was fucking stubborn as fuck. He would not let you know if he was hurt until you wouldn't know he was hurt until after the game. You just wouldn't know. And I remember so this is a funny thing too. His goalie and him got into a little bit of an argument while they were at school. And I get this phone call and he said, yeah, your son's being suspended. And you got to come down and pick him up. So I said, oh, okay. Is everything okay? Well, he got into a fight. Oh, okay. I walk in and there's his goalie sitting there missing a couple of chiclets and sitting there with his mom. And his goalie's 6 foot tall. And my son's 5'6" at best. I mean, back then he might've been only been 5'5" and 130 pounds. And this other kid's 170. And he's sitting there and I said, so what's going on? He said, oh, well, I broke my hand. Didn't say anything about the fight. He says, I broke my hand. and the goalie says to me, yeah, he says, coach, he punched me in the face. And he smiles and shows me no chiclets. And they didn't give a shit anymore. They got it out of their system and they were still friends, whatever. They had a little bit of whatever. But anyway, he's walking around with a broken hand and I didn't say a word. His hand, I look at his hand, it's black. I said, I guess we need to teach you how to punch properly. So he goes, well, it knocked out his teeth, didn't it? So it was pretty funny.
Yeah. That's great.
Yeah,
that's great. Yeah, no, my kid's already getting into fights at school and he's only in grade 1 and apparently he won both fights. So I've obviously kind of taught him how to defend himself quite well so far. I said, but I'll tell you though, kid, I'm that's fine if you're going to throw punches, but you never throw a punch first. If you're going to defend yourself, that's fine. Don't start nothing. If somebody wants to pick on you, tell them 2 or 3 times, leave me alone. If they give you a shove, well, then go right ahead and whack them. And that's exactly what happened last week at school. Did he get in trouble for it? Nope. The other kid got in trouble because he started it. So I loved it.
He defended himself. Yeah,
exactly.
Getting back to the work ethic thing, though, I will say that I think that both my kids took a very good how's the word? I don't know what the word I'm looking for, but they just listened to what I was saying. I was really hard on my kids when it came to sports, and I probably could have been a little less, but they wouldn't have done as well, and they know it, and I think they appreciated it. because it translated into everything else. And you look at, there's not very many kids that I coach that these are all my son's best friends and good friends, whatever. And there's not very many of them that didn't like me. We got along great, and I was firm but fair. I gave them shit when they deserved it. I kicked over garbage cans and threw shit, grabbed the whole rack of sticks and threw them on the ground. That one I kind of felt bad about because there was probably about $7,000 worth of fucking composite sticks, and just throw them on the ground, but we had the kind of person I am. We had a kid on our team, and his name was I'll just say his name was Nathan. He was a monster, and he would run over people. And but he wouldn't even try to hit them. He was just so big compared to everybody else. And the kid was a pretty good hockey player, but he was out of shape, but he was still a pretty good hockey player. And if you ever got himself into shape, he probably could have went somewhere. But this kid was over 6 feet tall, and he was over 250 pounds when he was playing in friggin' Bantam. So, he was killing people. But we were playing against another team from Nova Scotia.
If the other one's sold for.
And he said he ran over these two kids, and the coach says, "Hey, 22, you do that again, I'm going to shoot you with a 22." This is in the Greenwood Arena. Well, I'm wearing a long black jacket with gloves and whatever, and I pull off my jacket. We're about to go in behind behind the stands into the change rooms, and I told them out there.
What happened? I left, and it's 3-3.
I go to the coach, and the assistant coach, and I hand him my jacket. And the manager of the other team was a woman. She goes, "Coach, I suggest you don't do that. This is not good." And I said, "Yeah, first of all, you're threatening kids. You tell him either he gets the fuck out now or I take him the fuck out." And I was angry as fuck. This is a 16-year-old kid or 15-year-old kid that this guy's threatening his life. Yeah. So anyway, I go around. There's another father from the other team that comes down to the stands, and I take everybody into the change room, and I tell everybody, so I'll be back in 1 second. I go down the hall, and I go to grab a hold of the guy. Anyway, the MPs end up grabbing the one guy and taking him out. Somebody had already told them, and they weren't allowed back in. And the MPs did an investigation on the coach. I don't know what happened afterwards. I don't remember. I probably was told. I just don't forget. I don't remember. But the next time we went down to their arena, I talked to the coach beforehand, and I said, "If you ever say another word, like a word to my kids, I will fucking end you." And he was like, he didn't know that I was who I was at first. When I walked up to him, and it was like a surprise. I had my head down and I had my hat like this, and I just walked up to him and did one of those. And I told him, like, I was so angry still. And like Nathan could have punched the shit out of this guy himself. I mean, but like the kid, like the parents don't, and coaches of other teams don't understand the mental, how much you can affect somebody by saying something like that to them. I know. Like, he wasn't the same after that. He didn't play the same after that. He was worried about some things, and then he ended up turning the other way.
The good old coaching, and it can be tough to deal with, other coaches for sure, and definitely difficult to coach, period. So a shout out to those coaches that have coached in the past, as well as the present. It's not an easy gig, and a major commitment when you sign up for that. So another shout out to those coaches, especially the coach in the room currently, Mr. Nose. Thanks for signing up for that job. Not an easy one.
It's not easy.
Jay's done it. I've done it. We know it's not easy, and it's a tough gig. It really is.
Yeah, it's tough. And like, I coached House C. I wasn't a head coach, but there was some times when like we were in a tournament and we were down by a goal, and I when I had a chance to coach and run the lines, I took a few chances, and I put out a couple different players, and I lined up a few teams, and some guys had to skip a shift or two. But like, a lot of the other coaches are like, no, everyone gets equalized time no matter what the situation in the game. And I know it's House C and everyone just gets their equalized time, but it's like, you know what? There was a situation in another game where the coach didn't put out a couple different players at the end of the game, And it's like, if you just did that and we won the game, then we're playing 2 more games the next day and everybody benefits. Everybody gets more ice time.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, like, the shitty kids know that they're not that great. They know that missing a shift or 2 for the betterment of the team, like, that's life, man. Like, you got to learn though. You got to teach those lessons.
That's the problem nowadays. They don't know that. They think that they should get equal. They think that it's all about, they think like, that's why our government, our life, everything is in the situation that it is right now. This woke bullshit that's been going on for the last 10, 12 years. And it's gotten way worse, obviously, since COVID started. The narrative has been pushed, and we're all living it. And when people are gonna, what they start doing, what the government started doing, and everything else, I hate to keep bringing this shit up, but it bothers the fuck out of me. Is you keep your brain occupied by things like charging you carbon tax. You're not able to pay for your bills. You're not able to pay your food. You're not able to pay for your mortgage and shit like that. They keep you fucking busy thinking about those while they take away more of your freedoms. So, like, there's more bills being passed again in the last couple of days now, and in Nova Scotia, just so you guys know, and for the rest of the Nova Scotians watching, I've been paying attention. I left Nova Scotia to come here, but the government now is actually trying to pass a bill where they get access to all of your medical records.
Oh, it's pathetic.
So yeah, so if that happens, boys, you're going to see communism at its best in Canada. There's Marxism or communism, whatever way you want to look at it. I don't really care. And I don't fucking care if you agree with me or not. It's going to fucking happen. That's why they're going all fucking digital. You're not going to have, like, there's a lot of places here that are cashless now already, which won't fly here because the whole country's based on making money on the side anyway.
Yeah, you can't even leave the country. It costs you $20.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's a little different here. But in a country that, like, first world countries, I'll tell you, I think you guys are in trouble. I see a lot of problems when you see stuff like this happening, and it trickles down, man. It trickles down into sports. It trickles down into everything. If I'm paying, I got to pay $10,000 a year for my kid to play hockey. I definitely want him to have equal ice time. However, if you can't afford to fucking play hockey, then you need to start thinking about that. Don't
bullshit, man. If the situation in a tournament and you need to win that game to move on to the semifinals and the finals, and in the last 5 minutes you play your best players, there's nothing wrong with that. The ice time is irrelevant because the kids that aren't getting the shifts are going to get more hockey the next day.
Exactly. Yeah, again, it's what you sign up for. If you're signing up for House League, play the kids equal ice time. If it's a competitive hockey team, that's a whole different story. You're signing up to win. You're signing up for your kid to move on to bigger and better pastures in hockey, and to do so, let the coach be a coach. It's no different than coaching an NHL team or an OHL team. They're playing competitive hockey at 11, 12, 13, 14. Let the coach do his job, and that's shortening shifts or putting the right guys out there for key face-offs or key power plays. It is what it is, and that's Canadian hockey and at its best. And these parents that are going to whine after signing their kids up for AAA or AA hockey, well, that's what you signed up for. So it's too bad, but we got a pretty good game here, folks. 3-3, 30 shots for the Leafs, but kind of died down on the pace of shots with 7 minutes left in the second. 16 shots for New Jersey, and it's a tie game. So really, the Leafs got to step it up here in the last half of this hockey game to get this 2 minutes or two points. But boom, right there. What a beautiful save there. That looked like a goal. And Allen with a huge glove save there to keep this game all tied up.
Yeah. They're running around in their own end. They're not playing positional hockey in their own end. They're running and chasing after New Jersey. New Jersey cycles the puck fairly well, but they play the half boards quite well. And if you watch, they're like the rotations are tight and quick, and when they're in the opposing in Toronto zone, and fucking the defense and the forwards are following them instead of just playing their position.
Mm-hmm. Another face-off one there by the Leafs. And
That's
we'll
the only
see
thing
here.
saving
Oh,
their
and then they
ass.
just give the puck away. A weak
Yeah.
giveaway there. And here comes Jersey down on another break.
This Marino
Jersey's
kid's
bringing the
turned into
puck in
something
deep.
else, eh?
The Leafs aren't.
Oh,
There's another goal. And that goal right there, guys, is what I wanted to bring up. Is New Jersey's carrying that puck in deep and making sure that they have possession deep.
Yeah.
And they'll get hit off the puck, but then they've got three guys deep there to grab that puck, and that's exactly what happens with them carrying the puck in deep. Gets hit off the puck, but immediately Jersey gets the puck from behind the net, throws it out front, and now they're up 4-3. And getting that puck in deep is a very key asset to winning hockey games in the NHL. And whether you're going to dump it deep and go get it, go fucking get it. But if you're going to carry it in, make sure your guys are deep. And that's exactly what happened. And now Jersey is up 4-3 on the Leafs, where really they fucking shouldn't be.
Hey, did you guys notice that Willem Kit, whatever his name is, just scored there? He looks just like Yager, except redhead.
Yeah, a little bit, actually.
Yeah,
That's kind of too funny that you brought that up. I never thought
Does he
it
have the
until
mullet?
You brought it up.
He's got a little
but
bit one, yeah. But he's got the same jawline and the same face.
The ginger mullet?
Yeah. Not
What
quite
is
as
going
bad.
on though? This is unbelievable. Like Wall,
I can't believe the Leafs
You
now
can't even
after-
blame Wall. Like I don't even know. I didn't see the third goal, but the second one not his fault.
They just
They
keep
have
giving away the
31
puck.
shots out of 19. Like the Leafs obviously aren't capitalizing on their opportunities, or they're getting weak opportunities and not great ones, right? So, but a good
They're
keep
giving
in
up the
there.
puck.
We'll see here again, not getting the puck in deep, right, and then losing it at the blue line. But at least they got it here. Let's see if they can get it in deep here. They get it in deep, but they've only got 2 deep. Where third guy is just nowhere to be found. You got to have 3 deep there.
Discombobulated.
Well, it's
I don't
dump
know,
and chase, and it's not working. New Jersey's
No.
defense,
You gotta-
they're not. I don't tell them they're great, but they're fast. They're so you can't beat them to the puck.
There's a good chance in front here, but they're not going to
Oh.
score. Yeah, and they're going to get it out here. Oh, no, they don't. Oh well, yeah, terrible pass.
McCabe
there,
and Liljegren -2. So
yeah, we'll see though. Here we go. Here's the chance, and a weak shot from the side. I almost would have carried that behind the net, but that's I'm not an NHL player, but I would have carried
you
that
aren't?
behind the net. Why shoot a terrible shot when you have a terrible angle? Why not go behind
That
the net and
caroms
look for
around.
somebody with a better angle?
Yeah, it
35
caroms
shots.
around all the time, and the Toronto's defense are not fast. So they, except for maybe Liljegren, and it just
Who-
it
Who's
kills
not
me 'cause
playing
they don't get.
defense though tonight? Who's the odd man out?
Is it Brody that's not playing tonight?
Yeah, no.
No, Brody's playing,
Brody's
Okay,
got 2
right.
assists. What are you
Timmins
talking
is-
about?
My bad.
and
Timmins
Timmins
is-
is playing.
Timmins, Benoit.
Well, Riley's not playing.
Oh, where's Riley?
That's what I said.
Riley's
Riley's not
hurt.
playing.
Yeah, Riley's hurt.
Oh, he is hurt.
Yeah, he's
I
out
missed-
day to day.
I missed that.
Yeah, he's out day to day today, so he should be back in for
Hey, with
their
a-
next matchup. I'm hoping, but yeah, there's day to day injury.
Yeah, well, this is a
New
rough
Jersey's
sport,
just
man.
out skating them, boys. That's it. They're
They really
working
are.
harder. Again,
Yeah,
like I
yeah, they
said,
really
6
are.
minutes of hockey. That's all they
Well,
play.
you let them back in the game, and this is what happens.
Yeah, 4-3,
Oh, that's
and the
a
over
terrible
was 6
dumping.
tonight. So I hope that you took
10.
the over, because the over was 6, and it's already
Oh my
4-3.
can't
So
even get
whoever's-
over the blue line.
Oh, look at this. Oh man.
that was
This
close.
is
but
the
no
frustrating,
cigar.
the most frustrating part about being a Leaf fan. I'm telling you.
Well, it's the great starts that we have, and then we don't capitalize on it, right? We don't play, a full 60 minutes like we were talking earlier before the game even started. They just never do it, and it's unfortunate. Like that will really fuck up their playoffs if they can't, play 3 periods of hockey. Yeah, it's been kind of our
Holy
problem the
jumping.
last 5 years, I would say.
And
Especially in
they
the
got Labushkin now
playoffs.
and Brody out there for over 2 minutes.
Yeah, they're stuck in
Labushkin
their
tried
own
to
end.
ice
Now
it.
they're
Well,
yeah,
that's the
they're finally
second
gonna get off.
period long change, right?
Yeah.
They're all
Hopefully
over
they
them.
can, they're still on. They're still on. They're
Man.
still
They're
stuck.
fast. They're
They're
hard
still stuck
working.
here.
I'll give them.
You got to get the red line.
We're
Get
going
it
to
in
be able to
here.
get a change here.
There we
Okay,
go.
finally they can get
It's
off the
offside.
ice, but
Oh yeah, I think
that's
that
one
was
fucking
Holmberg.
long.
I think
fucking
Holmberg
shift.
accidentally on purpose went outside there. Rebounds. God damn it!
No, but it's
Yeah,
not
you know,
getting the puck in deep, Dylan.
They're gonna win this game, but it's not like it doesn't give me the warm and fuzzies.
You're
It's
just
like,
not getting the puck in deep, man, consistently, and they've got to carry it. Like the Leafs have got some of the greatest skaters in the league when they want to turn it on, and they've got to carry that puck in deep with the puck on their stick and get the three forwards in past those hash marks. Whether they're behind the net or in front of the net, get them them deep, and then their two defense over the blue line. That's how to really set up an offensive strategy. And that's how when the Leafs score goals, they do that successfully. And tonight they're just not doing it on a consistent basis, and it's really shooting themselves in the foot.
Well, they're being outskated and outworked. That's the problem. And once you start giving up the puck, you start losing confidence, and then it just tumbles from there. And
quick out of town scoreboard there, boys. Detroit 2-1 on Washington. Bruins and Panthers tied at 2. Phillies up 2-1 on Rangers. Penguins up 2-1 on Hurricanes. Vegas 3-0 on Nashville. And Chicago 1-0 on Calgary. If I was a betting man, I would take a lot of ties tonight, right? Especially with the teams that are playing each other in the playoff race. 10 games left. Crazy.
So what are you guys thinking about Crosby? Should he retire as a Penguin or should he go to a Cup team?
I think he should go to a Cup team, go win another Stanley Cup, man. Go and try out another city, wear a different jersey. Like there's no problem with him, retiring as a Pittsburgh Penguin, going back for a one-game trade and retiring there when he's done. But I think that he'd be stupid not to go and play for another Canadian team. I really think that he should, as the amazing player that he has been and a great leader for Canadian hockey. I think that it would be terrible of him to be selfish and to decide to stay in Pittsburgh. Now, it may be a thing where he feels obligated to stay in Pittsburgh because of the career he's had and he wants to be a one-team hockey player, but that's rare. I think that if he wants to do what's right for hockey and to maybe help another Canadian team get there, I really think that might be a smart move for him, a career decision to go maybe to somewhere like Winnipeg or to Calgary and try and help a struggling team out with a deep playoff run. That's my opinion on that. And I actually been thinking about it a lot. Dylan, what do you think about that? That was a really good question about Jay.
I thought Crosby should have been traded this year.
Yeah.
But I mean, he still has 3 or 4 years left on his deal. So that's the biggest challenge with trading Crosby. You're going to have a guy
8.7 mil.
8.7 mil is a big cap hit. Big time.
Yeah, but for what you're getting, he's still playing
one of the best players
ever. Oh yeah, and he's still got a few years.
What he brings isn't just his play. It's the leadership. It's the work ethic. If you get a chance, dudes, I'll tell you right now, if you ever get a chance to travel to Nova Scotia in the summer, go down to the double padded rink in Cole Harbor and watch him, Marchand, and Nathan McKinnon going at it, fucking like just running drills on each other. And it's a war, dude. I'm telling you, they beat the shit out of each other, and then they're all hanging out afterwards. They tend to beat the shit out of Marchand a little bit more than the other way around.
Sounds like my men's league games,
which I find very funny. But they just do like drills, like they go in the corner and fight for the puck, and they basically beat the crap out of each other. And I don't mean fighting; I mean like just physical play. And that's what they do. They try to make it as hard on each other as they possibly can. And you look at the way they play the puck in the corners; they're all three of them are phenomenal, So obviously it works. And my personal opinion, I think he should go to another team. But I'd love to see him go to a Canadian team. However, the only Canadian team he would likely go play for would be Montreal. His dad's his dad was a goalie in the Montreal system.
Imagine,
hey.
Imagine Crosby on the
Yeah,
Canadian.
yeah, and I think he's a
He needs to
Montreal
come
fan.
to a Canadian team. If he
I would
goes
like that.
anywhere, he's
Yeah,
got to
I
go to a
would like
Canadian
that.
team.
I don't think he would go to Toronto. I don't think he would.
No.
No. I think he likes the way it is in the States where he can walk down the street. People know him, but they leave him alone. If he comes to Canada, fuck, he's going to get mobbed everywhere he goes. I don't think he wants that at the end of his career. He still gets it, but it's not going to, he gets it when he comes here. I think that's enough for him. So I don't see him coming to a Canadian team. I see him in a team that has a work ethic. I see him in a team like Vegas, or I see him in a team like Florida or Tampa. He's going to go.
I was going to say Tampa Bay.
The taxes are not being paid.
Yeah, exactly.
That because if you got to take him on at 8.7 million, which is not big compared to what like guys like these guys like the core four are making, and you're still expecting that kind of productivity out of him. He wants to be happy, and the only way you're going to make him happy is he's not paying fucking 40% tax. So it doesn't make any sense. He won't go to a Canadian team.
Well, I wish he would.
I got a question. Who do you think's leading the team in hits tonight?
Good question. I would say let's throw it out to Benoit with the big hip check.
That's what I was thinking.
Is he leading? Is he leading?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
And he's actually tied. Actually, there's two that are tied with 7 hits. The other one will surprise the hell out of you.
Let's say Bertuzzi or Domi.
No, I'd say it was Matthews.
Nope. Tavares.
Oh, Tavares.
Oh, wow.
Well, the first part of the game, he threw a bunch of hits in the first part of the game. I haven't seen much since, but
7 hits, 5 shots on goal. Matthews has 8 shots on goal already. 8.
That's crazy that Allen stopped him 8 times.
Oh,
here's another 7 times.
Don't make the passes, man.
Domi's beauty, man.
Chasing the puck around.
Him and Matthews, man, they're beauty together. I just absolutely love this Bertuzzi, Matthews, Domi line. I think that can be one that you can start the game with and then mix it up on the power play, like throw like Marner out there with Matthews and maybe Bertuzzi and or Domi, mix it up a little bit. I think that this is a really good line, and I'll give Keefe some praise on this one. He came up with this one a few games ago, and it's been working. So we'll see what happens. A 4-3 game heading into the third period, and the best is yet to come as the Leafs are a quote-unquote, last-minute team, right? So we'll see what happens. It should be pretty interesting, and we'll we've got some interesting topics tonight, boys, and I love that one about the best ever Crosby for Canada hockey in our time. I also wanted to talk about Tampa Bay too, about him going to Tampa. Like, why not go and be in a warm climate? Like, he's been in Pittsburgh his whole carear, right?
It'll be better for his body. There's no doubt.
Yeah.
I noticed, like, when I stopped playing hockey, part of it was due to just the way I felt, and like. You go to the rink and I'm fucking cold. Every part of my body's sore. And I was like, it's just not worth it anymore. Because you walk out in the cold, you have a nice hot shower after you're done. You feel good for about 5 minutes, a couple cold ones in the change room, and you walk out and you're freezing your ass off again. Wouldn't you love to just walk out of the rink and go golfing in your shorts?
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
yeah. Yeah. Well, and back to the whole, crappy situation in Canada too. Like I've been thinking about moving out of Canada. Like, I've had kind of enough the last couple of years, and since COVID hit, I've kind of been considering it. Going to a warm climate, going to a third world country, going to somewhere warm over in Europe somewhere. I don't know, but I think that the horizons are brighter in warmer climates. Can I go to the U.S.? Probably not. So then I'm looking, somewhere in the Caribbean, or I'm looking over in like Spain. I'm looking over in those countries that are below the equator, right? And we'll see which place my wife and I end up on. But we're definitely considering moving to brighter horizons. It's too fucking expensive here nowadays. It's just, to raise a young family. I've got a 4 and a 6-year-old. They eat like crazy, right? And it's dropping a $300 or $400 bill every time I go to the grocery store weekly, right? Like, it's just crazy. It's $3,000 to feed my family. every month, and my wife and I don't make a ton of money.
Well,
Yeah,
the government
wild.
is what it is, and if anybody thinks that there's the conservatives are any better than the only thing the conservatives are better at is fucking than doing the budget. What I've been saying for the last little while is that there's extreme lefts and there's extreme rights, and the people are in the middle. It's not you don't have say in what government is going on. They place whoever they want in the government. And you get, oh, I voted him in. Yeah, well, you didn't put him in the position to be voted in. Somebody put him in the position to be voted in because he likes to do this to other people to get what he wants. So I'm sorry. I politics in general, our whole system in Canada has to be, as Trump says, drain the fucking swamp, do the same thing. I'm not like a big Donald Trump fan by any means, but at least they're fucking, like their country was in a lot better shape, like
financially, ever,
it's just the stupidity. I don't like Donald Trump. I think he's a narcissistic asshole. There's no doubt. However, I mean, I don't know him as a person either. He might be a great guy. He seems to have a lot of good friends. I was a big fan of Herschel Walker growing up, and Herschel Walker is one of his best friends. So that that tells me there that as far as all the crap about him, the media is owned by the same people. George Soros owns almost all the media. He just bought most of Disney, and it's all controlled by the same people. The World Economic Forum, BlackRock, Vanguard, all these companies own all these fucking things, and they're all fucking left-wing mental fucking bullshit. However, on the right side of things, like I said before, the insane far right and the insane far left are exactly what the government is. That's what the government is. The rest of us are just in between. And we're making our decisions on what we think is right and wrong. The unfortunate part is that education over the last 20 years or 30 years, or maybe even 40 years, has created a bunch of people who know how to solve problems, people who can argue an argument for the sake of winning the argument, but not necessarily tell the truth and not necessarily want to hear the truth either. It's more important to win the argument than it is to tell the truth. And these people are who are running our fucking country. So
they don't even have problem solving for the actual friggin' problem that they're arguing about, right? They have no way to fix it.
Have you ever listened to Freeland fucking talk? I've heard kindergarten kids that can put a sentence together better than she can. She never answers a question. And the whole point of government is to be transparent, and there's no transparency whatsoever. There's nothing but theft going on and corruption going on in our government, and that's why I'm here. Now, I'll tell you this: Dominican just went from 17th or 18th as far as corruption in the Caribbean countries to 5th or 3rd. I can't remember what they said, 5th or 3rd. So the guy that's here is cleaning shit up, and it went from, I think, 8th or 9th to the happiest place on the planet to live.
Wow. Yeah, well, you can talk to my wife about that, because my number one place to move to would be Dominican Republic, and she's saying she doesn't want to live in a third world country. Well, I said,
it's not third world, though. It's second world. It's not third world.
I know. Well, she's like, I don't want to live in a country where there's not good healthcare and all that stuff. I'm like, well,
the healthcare here is better than home. It's better than Canada.
That's what I said to her. I'm like, they kept me alive when I got sick in Dominican, and she's like, yeah, barely. I'm like, well, am I still here?
I'll tell
People don't understand the healthcare system and how much we're actually paying for it and how terrible it is. And I talked to a guy today, and he's like, well, I'm so grateful for the free healthcare, because
it's not
I
free.
talked to a buddy in the States, and he cost him $40,000 because insurance didn't cover anything. It's like, well, you just have to be like, listen, there's a wide range of people who don't understand money the way certain other people do, like us three. And they don't really realize that, if you could pay less taxes, if you could pay $300 a month and get the same or better healthcare and get a full coverage on everything versus paying whatever we were paying in taxes, which could be $500, $600, $700, $800 a month, and the system would be a lot more efficient. It would be competitive. There would be more hospital. One thing COVID did was expose how bad our healthcare system is if everybody got sick. In the States,
well, a lot of it's intentional. When you get only 33% of all the medical seats, like in university, set aside for Canadian students, that's telling you something. All they're doing is bringing in money from other countries like China, India, Pakistan, all these countries that have their kids that are smart because their education system's way better than ours. And they come in, they take 66% of all the fucking seats in medical school. And then they're not expected to stay any longer than 2 or 3 years after they get their degrees and get jobs. And most of them don't stay. And if the ones that do stay, they take jobs from Canadians. And it's all set up by the government. It's not a system for us to win in any way, shape, or form. And once people start to realize that, like down here, I'm just going to tell you, I pay $90 a month for healthcare. I went in, I thought I had a brain aneurysm. And what happened was I started going for massage therapy. My back was out of alignment and it snapped back into place in my neck after I'd had a massage earlier that day. But I had this snap in the back of my head. It felt like it was in my head. I went to the ground in pain. I thought, fuck, something seriously wrong. We went to the hospital. I was there for 5 hours grand total. I had a CAT scan. I had an X-ray done. That I paid out of pocket. It cost me $8. I had blood work done. They put me on an IV. I had everything back to me as far as the results were concerned in less than 5 hours, and I was out of the hospital. So, and out of my pocket was $8.
That's unbelievable. And good to know, $90 a month, you're looking at, $1,000 a year, just over for your healthcare.
And you're getting 200 to 300 taken off your check every month. People don't see, exactly. Like if you're making half,
and I never use Canada, it, right? So
if you're making over 60 grand a year in Canada, you're getting at least $200 to $300 taken off of every check.
Yeah, that's
just craziness. It's not free.
Yeah.
And we've had, during the pandemic, we had over 3,000 doctors either leave, get fired, or die. I don't know if you guys have been paying attention. There's an actual, you can pay it. Over 100 doctors have died over the COVID period in Canada.
It's craziness to think
100.
That.
So if that doesn't tell you anything. Anyway,
let's throw back to hockey. We'll talk about, because we're running into the third period. Let's talk about keys to success in the third. Dylan and I will run through this. Change just to run for a little bit of a quick break. I think the Leafs, again, have to carry the puck into the zone. It's one thing that they're not doing. They're not doing it consistently. They've got to get the puck in deep to get those three forwards in deep, the two defense over the blue line. It's simple hockey terms, but they're just not doing it correctly. And if they can continue to do that, I think they're going to get some really good chances on Allen. Allen's not a top goaltender. They've got to get good shots on net on him, cross-crease passes that he's not going to be able to save. They're not doing those consistently. They're getting weak chances on net. Yeah, they've got a bunch of shots on net right now, but they don't have some really key shots on net. So I think that that's going to be a big drive in the third period. If they can do that successfully, then I think that we have a chance to win this hockey game. We should be up by 2 or 3 goals, and we're not. And I think that if they can continually carry that puck in, get that puck in deep, and make some key passes behind the net, cross-crease passes in front of Allen, they're going to get the puck in and get that puck to teammates like Nylander and Matthews. And even I'll throw it up to McMahon. McMahon's had some great games down the road. Get him the puck. He's putting it in the back of the net. And then we've got, Knies and Robertson playing tonight. When that line gets on the ice, get the puck in deep and get the puck to those guys that are standing in front of the net. Because Knies and Robertson, for two young guys who've got some great shots that they can take, and they've got a really quick wrist shot and slap shot. So get them the fucking puck. I really think that the Leafs really need to bow down and really give their head a shake here in this second period to say, hey, listen, like, we had a great first period. We had 20 some odd shots on net, and now we're down 4-3. Let's wake the fuck up here. Mr. Nose, what do you got to say about the Leafs running into the third period? what they need to do to get back on track and to get a couple goals here to win this hockey game.
They got to keep pressing and draw penalties. If they keep their feet moving, keep their legs moving, stay out of the box themselves, and force Jersey to take a dumb penalty or two, or even just a necessary penalty because it's a scoring opportunity, and that's it. And get on the power play and light it up. I mean, at the end of the day, I'm way less worried about the team being down by a goal. If I was Jersey, being up by a goal in the third period is got to be panic mode. I don't know what the coach is going to say between periods to New Jersey here, but there's no way the Leafs aren't tying it up. There's no way. Even with an empty net, with 2 minutes to go, I don't know. I think at the end of the day, they need to let the bad puck luck affect them, stay motivated, and keep the energy levels up.
Yeah, for sure. And you know what would keep you?
Sorry, I'm a little bit distracted, Jamie. Actually, I got some fresh news. I bought a house today, so I'm kind of excited about it.
Congratulations, Mr. Nose. So a new place to move to, or a second property?
Place to move to, 2 acres, about 11 minutes from my place. Still close to town, close enough to town. It's a bigger house because my parents are snowbirds, and then they spend most of their time up in the Manitoulin Island. Summer's there and winter's in Florida, so I bought a bigger place with them so they have a place to stay when they're here. Triple garage, nice big yard. Gonna build a hockey rink outside for the boys. I'm excited, man. I gotta get out of this sardine can that is suburbia life.
Congrats.
Here.
And it's great that you bought a place with your parents. I bought a place with my dad after my mom passed, and it's nice to to be together and don't have your parents be alone when they're getting up in age, and down the road when they're too old to kind of look after themselves, they'll be with you rather than in a home, and that truthfully is what you want as a kid. You don't want your parents to be alone, and you want them with you, even though they might drive you insane or drive you crazy or what have you. It's grandma and grandpa with your 2 boys, and that's going to be a good thing. And I'm really, really happy for you, brother. That's fantastic news.
Yeah.
Well, congratulations, brother.
So I've been a little sidetracked tonight with that, hence the
it's okay. It's okay.
The mutes and the stop cams, but
it's all good.
I'm excited about that, but I'm not so excited about the Leafs being down a goal here. For Christ's sake.
When are you moving in? When's that date where you guys take
May
possession?
31st. Oh, I got
May
2 months to
31st.
sell my house now, so the pressure's on.
Oh gosh, well, you'll have no problem in Ontario, man. Your place is gorgeous. So
I'm in Stittsville. I have a nice little single family home on the corner in a private, pretty private little cul-de-sac circle here. So it's actually a good spot. It should sell pretty quickly. I redid the basement. I did a bunch of work here myself, fixed it up. So just got to get it cleaned up. Now I'm under pressure to clean up, which is moving's always
declutter. And I'll tell you,
moving sucks.
One of the best things that you can do for selling a house.
Moving's awesome. Said no one ever.
Is staging the house.
If
stage the house, declutter. Yeah. If you don't know how to do it, then fucking pay somebody to do it. It'll cost you $500 or $600.
Yeah, my real estate agents will do it. They're
okay.
The twins. Google the Ritchie twins. You'll see who my real estate agents are. Okay. Shout out to the Ritchie twins for selling my parents' house, finding us this. I got a wicked deal on this house too. This is a 2-acre, 3-garage, 4-bedroom, 3-car garage, 4-bedroom brick house. A lot of updates needed in the bathrooms and stuff, in the kitchen and whatever. Like it's not.
That's your
thing.
That's
what you do, brother.
That's my thing,
that's what
bro.
You do.
It's easy.
That's
so we got a pretty good deal on it. Pretty happy about it. So yeah, it'll be nice to be in the country, man. It's not far. It's not far from town either. So
good. I'm happy for it.
But yeah, you're right, Jay. You're bang on.
I'd say I come and see you. Friggin' I'm in London, Ontario, April 7th or 27th through May 4th, but you'll be busy as shit getting ready to move, and yeah, it'll be.
Oh,
And
yeah.
you don't want to
help. Yeah. Well, I'll just see you in Dominican. We'll plan a trip next.
We're gonna plan
next
a trip
winter.
next. I thought we were going down for playoffs sometime.
No, that trip never went through. We'll talk about it another time, but it was just too expensive for me to get down there right now. It's craziness. It's craziness. Like I was looking at like a $1,600 flight, then plus expenses. Like it just didn't make sense to me. But then again, but then after I booked my trip to Ontario, it ends up costing me the goddamn same fucking amount. But anyway,
I had a buddy who cost him even to go on the train from Ottawa to Toronto, and it was like $1,000. It's like you can go to friggin' Dominican, you can go to an all-inclusive for that amount. A shitty one.
No sense, man. The travel in Canada is crazy, and again, they're going to gouge you every fucking chance that they can get. But yeah, go ahead, Jay. I know you wanted to say something.
Well, I was just going to say, if you look at WestJet, they I think it's every second or third week of the month, they have a hell of a deal flying out of Toronto for like it's like $180 return.
My God, dude!
Just pay attention. And just so you guys know, I think I said it before. When you're looking for flights anywhere, check on your phone. But the day you actually go to buy, use your computer. There's algorithms that follow your phone and follow your URL, I guess. And every time you turn off, like when you're looking for better prices, every time you turn it off and log back on again, they raise the price.
Oh, craziness! Well, we got the third period in
the power play.
Power play here for the Leafs with 38 seconds left here. See if the Leafs can do something to get this game tied early on in this third period. A big draw here. Tavares loses that draw, and we'll see if the Leafs can do something and dump it right in really quickly here. We'll see if they can carry the puck out, and like I mentioned earlier, hopefully Keefe said kind of the same thing. Carry that puck in deep. Let's get the puck in deep consistently. And now that it's in the corner, they've got three players deep. This is what I'm talking about. Then they get a good chance on net.
Yeah,
they had three players deep, right? But now they got another face-off with 10 seconds left on the power play. So we'll see what happens.
Jake Allen, I'm telling you, he heard me. He must have heard me.
Chirped him at the beginning of the show, and he's been lights out.
He's been playing.
Well, fantastic. That's the thing about a goalie. Like you face a lot of shots, like you're into it.
Right? Yeah,
you're dialed in.
I think we got to do this again, boys, and do the live Leaf party and watch the game again. But I'd like to actually call the game next time and have you guys as my color commentator guys, because that's kind of what I did was call a hockey for years, and I think that might actually work out pretty good. So we might have to give that a chance. What do you guys think about that?
Sure.
Gonna learn all the names of everybody.
Oh, I know them. I just gotta have it as a reference in front of me. That's all. But yeah, no, I did it for years. So it's something that when you're getting ready for the game, you sit down and you study the numbers. Even if you've called the team, for 12 games straight, or for a year straight, and all the numbers are the same, you still got to go over them and memorize them because you'd be top of line and top in front of your face. So I would have like 2 sheets of paper in front of me with all the numbers, right? And just be able to reference quickly. But yeah, no, I think that we should give that a chance. I think it'd be a lot of fun. But here we go. Here's another good chance here.
Let's hear it.
Well, I don't have the numbers in front of me, but I can definitely do some play-by-play announcing here. So the New Jersey Devils get the puck out. They are now moving it up, get it over to the blue line, but given away here, and the Leafs will pick the puck up. And a little battle on the boards here. New Jersey comes up with it and a quick chance in front, but a save there by Wall to keep this game a 1-goal game. And New Jersey gives it up, and the Leafs will flip it up out of ice, but Jersey will recover and kind of do a recoup of trying to get it in deep. But no, the Leafs have got it, and they move it back. And here we go. Behind the net, Leafs throw it over, And here we go with a great pass there to Domi. It goes off his stick and now into the corner. And then now the defense of Jersey gets it and throws it up deep, but now picked up quickly. And a great cross crease pass there, but just missed. Wall was there to make the save, but they would have put it by wide. And now the Jerseys goes off for a change, and the Leafs will probably do the same here. They've been on the ice for quite some time, and they'll dump it deep.
Like
Tavares had a good game so far.
Real Joe Bowen here.
I need some practice. I haven't done it in quite some time. It's been 5 years since I've called a junior B hockey game. I used to do the St. Thomas Stars and really enjoyed that. Boy, oh boy, had a beautiful setup there. Had the whole center ice, long table right in front of the center ice, and it was just absolutely gorgeous there. A beautiful building. It was called Timken Arena, and then it was renamed the Joe Thornton Arena for good measure for sure.
Well, these guys spend all day show prepping. Like you have an actual full-time job, so it's a little difficult.
Well, yeah, they know the numbers, they know the players, they know the numbers, they know the players, they know every single player on the squad. They memorize their numbers. They're ready to go.
Their teleprompters have numbers on them.
Oh,
yeah,
do they?
Exactly. Yeah, they do. Yeah.
Like the US broadcasts have the name pop.
Yeah, they have their name and number on them. That it shows up. You can see it.
It's easier for the US broadcasters, well, even in the Canadian broadcasters.
Yeah.
When you're working for an actual company like, let's say, TSN or CBC, they make it easy on you. They really do. But yeah, Joe Bowen's by far my favorite all-time broadcaster of my generation. I think he was the best. I really do. And I was watching a game with my dad probably a couple weeks ago. I don't know, well, maybe this weekend. No, it was the weekend before. And we were watching a U.S. broadcast of a U.S. hockey game. I'm like, these guys fucking suck. They don't freaking have any passion. They just sit there, it's a pass, it's a shot. Yep, it's a save. Okay.
Now the Boston guys are pretty good. Some of the hockey towns are pretty good. The Boston guys.
It depends on what town, right? But I think that we were watching like I think we were watching Arizona and I don't know. Like, let's just throw out another team. It was just ridiculous. Like the Dallas Stars, they weren't very good. They weren't very good at all. No, they weren't. And they're getting paid handsomely, like they've done it for years. It's just like the standard in Canada with the announcers compared to the US announcers are completely different. Like Canada, they want the crazy, obnoxious, very loud mouth, calling, right? And they don't want that in the US, right? So I don't know why, but and the fluctuation in your voice too, right? There's just no fluctuation, there's no excitement. They're just calling the action and that's it. And I just found it really boring, and I always have with the US announcers. I guess the only team that I really like. Oh, what a great play there. And Domi again making an impact, but I wish he would have scored that one. It was a great little chance there. He was all alone. There's another chance for Domi.
Let me give it a try. The play-by-play. Domi in the corner, crossing McCabe. Oh, it goes off a stick into the corner. Back around into the corner. Domi in front. Tipped in front. Oh, it's right there. Jersey clears. They throw it down the ice. Is it going to be icing? No. Liljegren back to pick it up. Leafs regroup. Line change for Jersey. Liljegren behind the net. Looks right. Looks left. Looks for someone to pass to. Feeds it up. Now out of their zone. TJ Brody up to Nylander. Nylander coming in. Shot Tavares. Save Jake Allen right in the breadbasket.
All right. Not bad, Nose.
Gotta love
it, buddy.
Gotta love it.
Yeah. It's a lot of fun. It's fun, and I really enjoyed my time in St. Thomas doing it. And that's what I went to school for, is to be a radio broadcaster, and then also to kind of get into the hockey broadcasting and really enjoy my time with it. And to be honest, if I would have never moved, I'd still be doing it for the St. Thomas Stars. I really enjoyed my time there, and they had a 1080p set up with the best camera that automatically followed the puck and everything. They had the best of the best there, and they had a really nice setup. We broadcasted on fasthockey.com. And it was a lot of fun. I had a lot of people that would come to the games and just sit right in front of me because they love to hear me, call the play-by-play while they're live there at the game, watching the game. They'd sit right there, and every night they'd thank me for the calling. So it was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun.
That's cool. I think Generate and Ploger were the two best ever to do game calling. Ploger, I'm not sure if I'm not sure if I'm saying his name properly, but I'm pretty sure that's how it's said. But he came up with two of the best lines I've ever heard in my life, and they still run today. People use them all the time, and that was and it was Mario Lemieux on I think it was his second or third goal. I can't remember. He scored in his first game, first shift. I watched that myself, but I'm not too sure. I might have been on the first game. I'm not too sure. But I think it was against Tenorti. Tenorti was playing for Minnesota, I think, at the time. And he says, Mario Lemieux beats him like a rented mule. And I use that I say that all the time. You know, a lot of people say beat him like a rented mule. But the best one, and I was kind of red. Good. Yeah, I was kind of a redhead as a kid. My mom was a redhead and whatever. And, I always make jokes. My hair's still kind of red. I got a red beard. Well, it's not white, it's red.
You got to be good with the similes, man. I'm not good with those.
He was so good. This he said I'm trying to think. It was Kevin Stevens. I remember seeing this. Kevin Stevens put a pounding on this guy in the corner, and then comes out and I think it was against Philadelphia, and he went around the defender and he goes, Kevin Stevens beats him like a redheaded stepchild. I have used that my whole life.
It's so good.
I fucking
can't say that anymore.
Oh yeah, but I do. Hey, I got like I said,
woke mob will get you.
Yeah, I don't care.
What a fucking beauty though Mario Lemieux was, eh? Oh, holy shit! What a hockey player! What a passion player for the game that brought
too.
Every single shift he plays so fucking hard, and all the trials and tribulations that guy went through to play as long as he did. He definitely is a gem, and definitely a Hall of Famer, of course, for life, and really well deserving. He was my favorite player when I was a young kid, and Doug Gilmour as well, but I really looked up to Mario Lemieux and read his book as an early age called It's Mario, and that was a great book, and I probably read it about 100 times, to be honest, when I was a kid, and I really looked up to him as a player, and really loved him. I loved Mario. I loved Doug Gilmour, so I was a Leaf fan, but then I also loved Eric Lindros on how he played. But yeah, those are my three favorite players. So 13 minutes left. We're still down by a goal, and the Leafs still aren't doing what I'm saying is – go ahead.
Yeah, just the Mario Lemieux thing. My son reminds me of my son because they had his little hockey party, and he got the Mario Lemieux award on his team, so he was pretty happy about that.
There we go.
Right?
There we go. What was the Mario Lemieux award for?
Just being one of the top players on the team, just getting in there, grinding, scoring goals, getting assists, just being a good old hockey player, man. That's it. That's all.
I love it.
I know.
I love it.
Anyway, sorry, you were talking. Oh, we're going back to the game here.
Yeah, we're going to be back to the game. 13 minutes left. Leafs are down 4-3, and they're still not doing what I wanted them to do, is carrying the puck.
And they're shorthanded.
And they're losing the puck in their own zone. And that's a big no-no for NHL teams. If you get the puck past the circles, the top of the circles, going out of the zone, get the fucking puck out. Don't lose the puck in the top of your fucking zone when you're almost out. Like you're almost out of the goddamn zone. Like you've done the work to get it out of your corner and get it past 3/4 of the way out of the fucking zone, and you still don't fucking get it out. You lose it right there. It's a huge mistake that teams make. Get the puck out of your fucking zone. Drives me insane.
It's Brandon. Brandon's similes. Brandon's watching. He's our watching. Shout out to Brennan. He's watching the show tonight. Love it.
Love it.
Why didn't he make it? Did he say? Don't know.
Yeah. Anyway, we'll talk about that later. But anyway, New Jersey.
He's probably at home
4-3.
going, what the fuck?
Yeah, probably.
I don't know. I didn't know why. So I
Yeah. But anyway, we'll talk about that later. But 11 minutes left here in the third period, and we'll see what the Leafs can do. They've got a great chance here in the offensive zone, and they keep it up here. Brody, a great pass across to his defensive partner that was Domi back to cover, and he gets a good shot, but he gets blocked. And Bertuzzi here now carrying the puck in, dumps it deep.
Oh, come on.
We'll see here. Oh, gosh. Now here's a 2-on-1. That shouldn't have been a 2-on-1. Luckily, the pass goes astray. And we'll see here if the Leafs can do something here with 11 minutes left. They dump it in deep. At least they're getting the puck in deep. They dumped it that time, but at least they got it deep. And it kind of hits the player up top, and then he kind of held on to it a little bit, so it gets blown down. But we'll have a stop and play with about 10 minutes left to go here in the third.
I have to admit, I haven't watched a lot of New Jersey games, and I will say there's 3 guys on this team that I never heard of before, including this Numic kid.
Yeah, there's a lot of names on this team. I'm like, who? What?
New players on Jersey for sure. It's and again,
young team.
J-Dog, you mentioned it. They're going to be into a rebuild, and I thought that they had already done their rebuild, but it obviously didn't work. I thought they were going to be dynamite at the start of the year, and they had a great start. And they just shit the bed mid-season.
Curtis Lazar.
Yeah, that surprised me. I thought he was out of the league now.
Yeah, I didn't know he was still hanging around.
He's still hanging around.
The ceiling was real high on that kid, and then he just wasn't able to do anything.
But he's been in the league though for what, 10, 12 years now?
I would say maybe 8, 7 or 8. He was always a highly touted.
Yeah. He
prospect.
I remember when he was in Ottawa, and he didn't do he was good every third game. And it
just goes to show you though, you never know who's gonna do what and make it to the NHL and have a 5th goal. Zach Hyman had a great quote the other day talking about how he was never the best on his team. He was never quote. Lights out anywhere. He just worked hard and had a good demeanor. I mean, the guy's an author.
People told
he's
him.
A smart guy. People told him.
Yeah, he's never going to match nothing and everything, right?
Yeah.
He just said,
he's a 50-goal scorer. See you later.
Yeah, kept working at it. And look at him, 50-goal scorer on a new team that he joined, what was it, last year, right? And making a massive impact this year with 50 goals. That's one of the reasons why Edmonton's done so well. And I love to throw it back on Jay again. 4 lines deep. Edmonton's a 4-line team, and we've got a player like Hyman that's playing on your first line and adding 50 goals to a team like Draisaitl and McDavid. Holy shit, you've got you've got all the right things going for you. And I think the Leafs have got that too, right? They've got some solid goal scorers. We got Nylander, we got Matthews, we got Marner, we've got those out of plays like Tavares. We've got we've also got Bertuzzi and Domi that are stepping it up, scoring goals. We got McMahon. Oh gosh, it went all the way right up in the air and then came right down. But Leafs can't take advantage.
They cannot lose this game at home. They cannot lose this game at home.
43 shots to 22. If they do lose the game, the number 1 star is going to be Jake Allen, even though he's made a lot of saves. I don't think he's made some major ones. It's just been those regular saves, is just standing tall and cutting the corners out and making those initial saves. The Leafs are peppering him. I think they've got 60 attempts on net, where they've got 43 on them. So just craziness, just absolute craziness. We'll see in the late few minutes here what the Leafs can do, boys.
I'll tell you a good New Jersey story, boys. I was in Ottawa, going to see the game in Ottawa with a friend of mine, and my buddy's dad was Jacques Lemaire. So the Nick Lemaire, his son, and I used to play hockey together in Témiscamingue, Quebec. So I told him I was going to the game with my buddy. I said, but we're bringing his son, and he's a goalie. Do you think there's a chance that we could get in to see Marty Brodeur? And he said, I don't know what I can do. Let me know. So we drove down to the game. I didn't hear anything from him. Then I get a phone call. Just before we drove down to the game, I get a phone call, and he says, meet up. The bus shows up at 5:00 every night in the back. There's fuck all for security back there. And if you show up, they don't stop you from seeing the players. So my buddy, his son, and myself, Jacques was my buddy and his son. Anyway, we went down around the back, and Mr. Lemaire gets off the bus. He walks right over to me and says, "Hey, how you doing?" He says, "The Nick told me that you're going to be here, blah, blah, blah." I said, "Yeah, is there any chance that Mark can meet Marty?" He says, it's taken care of. He says, "I got to get in there. I hope you don't mind, blah, blah, blah." I said, "Oh, fuck, I was just happy to, shake your hand, say hello, and I appreciate you, making time for us," kind of thing. And so everybody gets off the bus, and the last three guys are Scott Stevens, Peluso, and Marty Brodeur. And Peluso turns and he says, "Hey, Marty, I think that's for you." And he comes over. Half the guys are sitting there waiting. I talked to Stevens for a couple minutes, and Peluso, and they're pretty funny. And Brodeur signed probably 50 cards, hockey cards that all his friends wanted. They knew he was going to have a chance to meet him. So he signed fucking a whole bunch of shit, like hats, shirts. Like it was way more than enough. And Mark had no qualms about asking, you sign this, you can sign this. So Jacques and I are off to the side to watch them. They're talking for 15 minutes, man. And now Mark's French too. So of course Marty's talking in French to him. He says, "Oh, c'est bien français." And he's like, "Oh yeah, oui, blah, 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 blah." Anyway, the best thing ever, he comes over afterwards and the kid's just lit, right? Like he's like 7 years old. He's got his Brodeur jersey on and he's jacked. Anyway, and so, "Hey, Mark, so how's it going?" He goes, "That was the best ever." "So what did he say?" "I don't know." He was just so starstruck. He couldn't, even on the ride home. We watched the game, whatever, and we went down along the boards, and Brodeur comes over and knocks on the glass and gives him one of those as well. So it was kind of cool. Yeah, it was good. It was very good, and I that's a memory I'll always keep. And I thank the Nick and his dad for setting that up for us. It was nice, and we met a whole bunch of the players. Like, I mean, they all got off the bus and they were all saying hi. They knew we were there, and I guess Mr. Lemaire told them to say hi to us on the way by, high-fived us on the way by. Some of them stopped and talked for a second or two, but it was very good and a good organization. My oldest son's favorite team is New Jersey, so it's a fight in our house.
As an NHL player, you kind of have that responsibility, and I think that a lot of them take that pretty highly. Where you're going to have fans, but more importantly, you're going to have kids that are going to worship you and are going to want to meet you. And you know what? If you take 10 minutes before a pregame and you spend it with a kid, that is a massive memory that they're going to have the rest of their life. And you don't know, maybe you'll impact the next, Bobby Orr or the next Wayne Gretzky. You never know who you're talking to or who you're going to impact and change their lives for the better. So I love to hear those stories. And I really think that the guys that are playing in the NHL now still kind of keep that tradition going, and they do a really good job at it. Most of them do a really, really good job at it, and don't mind, spending that time with fans and especially with kids. That's what it's all about is the kids, and that's why we all love this game. Because one time we were kids and love this game. So that's
like my nephew who got to go to the, he was playing on what's his name, the old coach of the Sens, his team.
Bert Templeton.
No, coach of the Sens just got fired. What's his name?
Oh, just recently. Sorry.
Can't think of it. Just recently, my nephew. DJ Smith. Yeah, he got to go. Smith, sorry, and shout out to my niece. My niece is on a team here in Stittsville called the Goulburn Rockets girls team, and they are rated the number one, ranked the number one team in the province, and are going to provincials next weekend or this weekend for all the cake, all of it.
They're called the Goldbergs.
So, the Goulburn Rockets. The Goulburn Rockets.
Goulburn Rockets.
It's like Stittsville, Goulburn. It's like a little community around here.
Yeah, right on.
Cool.
Rockets, go get them, Rockets.
Go get them, Rockets.
From
Let's go.
Keep Your Head Up Hockey. Like, go get them. Congratulations on a fantastic year and making everybody proud, and little ladies getting it done. I just absolutely love that. That's fantastic.
What did I say, boys?
Take the tie. I gotta correct myself. I thought you were talking about. I thought you said cents, like as in centennials, like back in the day.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I thought you mentioned that old name. By the way, what did I say about taking the ties tonight? Washington beats Detroit in OT. OV did not score tonight. Quick update there. Bruins 4-3 over Florida. It's always the Bruins scoring those late goals, man. They're just like, they're so clutch. I hate it.
Yeah, they are.
Anyways, but they beat Florida 4-3. And the Rangers beat Philly in OT. So a lot of for those teams that are fighting, they got one. They scraped 1 point out of it, right? So it's going to really tighten that Eastern Conference race. Crazy.
Well, 5 minutes left in this one. Yeah.
And we should mention Josh Doan making his debut for the Arizona Coyotes tonight.
Oh, really?
Hey?
I love that.
Son of Shane Doan. So isn't that funny for the passing of the torch in Arizona?
Pretty
from
cool.
Most bow-legged hockey player in history, I think. That guy, he could drive a truck.
But man, he played with heart.
Oh,
he must have grew up riding horses.
He does. He has a horse farm and everything. But man,
he does. Okay.
Oh yeah, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, he's
I've never seen anybody for sure.
So bow-legged in my life, and I've seen hilarious. I've seen him at the rink a few times walking down the hall, and I'm going, oh my, you could like, I don't know how he even walks. It doesn't even look right. He looks like a cartoon. And his legs are only this tall. He might be 6 feet tall, but his legs are only like 1.5 feet tall. You know, it's the weirdest thing.
Him and Pierre Engvall skating like they're riding a horse.
Yeah. That's a guy that I think the Leafs should have kept.
Sorry, is that a blow my
Yeah, he's one of those guys that you just couldn't hang on to, like Hyman. Like just too many other potentials, right? Like, what do you get rid? You know, like you got McMahon, you got Nyes, so like.
But I'd rather have Engvall than any of those. Engvall's a guy that would stay on that team forever. He loved it there.
Yeah,
and I think he would have taken a discount on what he was making to stay on that team. And I think if you put him on a line with, well, especially now you got Domi and fucking Bertuzzi, that would be an amazing line.
Yeah, I like
a good hockey demeanor, low PIMs, still strong
goals too. He's skilled,
skate,
and he fight, and he's one of the best.
Even though he skated like
in the league.
Where's he playing now, Engvall?
New York.
Islanders, Islanders or Rangers,
and he's been he's been a really good fit there.
Yeah,
I think he's the Islanders. If I'm
it's Islanders.
It is the Islanders, but they're not making the playoffs.
Yeah,
no, but he's just a good all around player, man. And I just think it's consistency. You know, he was never like consistently like great by any means, but he was just never bad. You know,
he was never bad.
Yeah,
he had long reach. He could poke the puck away.
Yeah.
Like
he was fast. He was one of the fastest players on the team.
Oh, here we go.
Player that
Here we go.
Hyman, right here we go. Here's the chance, and gets blocked. But we keep the puck though, so we got 4.5 minutes here. Here's the key time. So let's definitely keep the chat on the game, because this is when the Leafs really lay down the smack in the league. Is the last 5 minutes of the game. So we'll see what happens here, boys. It's going to be interesting. And if,
they got the short bench for sure. You know, Matthews is getting 3 minutes of this last 4 minutes. It'll be interesting to see who he puts out there, because he doesn't have
3 seconds behind you guys.
Oh, are you?
Yeah. I've been all night, and I've tried to readjust it, but I can't. It sucks being in
Domi right in front.
Oh, what a chance there in front. And a huge save by Allen. And Matthews blows the boot. and loses the puck.
Oh,
Damn.
man, did he
Was
ever
that a high stick?
try
No, he
up at
missed
high
it.
speed? He's going back to the bench for a new skate plate after that.
Yeah, I think he has to. Yeah. Oh no, Matthews here with the puck. Throws it in deep. Here we go. Domi. All right, Matthews with it, pulling it up.
Wiener.
All right, huge pass over to Benoit, and he gets it deep there. Or is it Camp? That's Camp.
Oh, that's terrible. What are you doing?
Oh my gosh, breakaway. Oh my gosh, and that's the game, folks. I really don't think they can see the Leafs coming back.
Watch this giveaway.
Like
that's
got to
go deep. That's got to go. This is the Leafs all year long, making blind passes and goofing it up. Goofing it.
They were so close to tying it up there, though, with the pass,
Jersey
in front by
what's going on here?
Domi. But it's a cross blue line pass, and it's a blind one too, right? He just turns around and just fires it, and there we go, the breakaway, and no mistake by Hughes with his second goal of the night. He's had a night tonight, and he's got 3 points. He really has had a night tonight, and boy, oh boy, the Leafs are down 5-3 against a team that they should not have been down at all in this game. You know, out shooting them 44-24. That's pretty upsetting.
Brutal. Let's see what the chat's saying on the other.
Yeah, we'll see what Core 4 is saying here about this game. I bet you.
Well, we're gonna have to pull the goalie here.
They're not happy, that's for sure.
Open in front.
That goal, as far as I'm concerned, a lot of goals like that, the guy comes across a little bit. Where's the poke check? Nobody uses the poke check anymore, and that prevents a lot of those types of goals. The other thing is, too, if you're not going to
Wall needed to make that save there. He needed
lay the paddle down. Lay the paddle down.
Yeah.
Have it in front of you.
This is a turning point for Wall. This is going to push him back behind Jones, I think, in the next coming games. I don't think he gets a start because he hasn't played well in the last few games either.
You can't really fucking blame it on him, though. Like, you know, he had
you can't blame him, but your goalie has to make a big time save.
Big save there.
You want to go somewhere in the playoffs, you got to have a goalie steal a couple games.
You need a big time save.
And with only having 24 shots on net and to let in 5, that's kind of a tough game for them. You know, when we outshoot the opposition now 44-24 and lose 5-3, like that just can't happen in the playoffs.
Well, Jake Allen's the game changer here. He didn't let anything in.
Oh, he played fantastic. Yeah. But then again, though, like the Leafs had a lot of chances on net, but they didn't have those guaranteed goal scoring chances, right? Like there wasn't a lot of great passes over to Matthews in his spot. You know, there wasn't a bunch of great chances by players like Nylander or by Tavares. There just wasn't, right? So, you know, and they weren't moving the puck around well in the offensive zone. They weren't getting it.
What are you doing? How is that not icing?
There's a hat trick there
because the Jersey player is way ahead of the play for some reason.
Yeah, hat trick for Hughes there. So a 6-3 win looks like here for the New Jersey Devils, and they really needed a game like this. And I think that they're going to kind of ride the coattails here on this game moving forward for the rest of the year. You know, being outshot that bad and still getting it done and beating a team like the Leafs, you know, yes, it's definitely doable. The Leafs have lost to worse teams than New Jersey this year, but I really just thought that the Leafs were on a good pace and could definitely get this one done. But missed opportunities tonight would be the story.
This is a big game for Jersey, man, because this gives them a chance to make the playoffs, believe it or not.
It really does. It really does. And they know that, right? So they came out and they played well. And I think without Allen,
I don't feel like they started their well. They didn't play well for the first.
The first period they played great,
but
I think the second period, the second and third period they didn't play well, and they didn't get it done, and that's going to be the story tonight, folks.
That's all she wrote. 34
seconds.
It's
60
left.
minutes, right? Again, it's 60 minutes. You know, whoever plays the best shifts in those 60 minutes will win the game, and when you've got a team Well, we play them twice more. So, there's going to be some redemption for the Leafs, and it's going to definitely be in New Jersey's building. So we'll have to bring it back to New Jersey and see what we can do there. And I hope that Samsonov is ready to start in one of those games, and we can get him to play, or even get Jones a chance. Like, boy, oh boy, like Jones is a great goaltender.
This is the game where Wall needed to steal one, and this will probably cement
his. Over how many shots do they have?
Oh yeah, not even steal one.
There were mistakes made by the team. Made a lot of bad mistakes. They made big mistakes, and they're bad passes. And I praise Domi for all the good stuff he's been doing. But I mean, not that last one lost the game, but you can't make those kind of passes.
No, you
that's
can't.
Exactly what Marner's been doing. That's why Marner.
Marner's doing the same thing.
He does these fucking.
That's the risk reward with these guys.
Passes, and it drives me nuts.
Well, let's take a look at Leafs who've got next, and we'll talk about how they can win that next game, and we'll kind of end this stream here as it's kind of been a long one. But we've got Washington next on the 28th, and that's going to be a game that we're going to have to really come and play 3 periods. They've been playing well. I think that Ovechkin has been playing really well lately. They're kind of in a position where they can make the playoffs as well, so they're going to bring it. And I think the biggest thing that I watched tonight was the Leafs were not consistently getting the puck deep. When they got the puck, they got out of the blue line. They weren't getting it consistently deep. I think if they do that, they do well as a team. I think that they've really got to be better in that. They've got to be better at when they're going through the neutral zone, get that puck deep on a consistent basis, and not give the puck away and then go down the ice and then have a defensive chance that they've got to protect. I think that's a huge coaching note for Keefe to bring up to them. Talking about the next couple of days going into Washington. What are your guys' thoughts when we've got Washington up next? What do the Leafs got to do different to win that game against Washington? Let's throw it over to J-Dog. J-Dog, what do you think here the Leafs got to do different headed into Washington in a couple nights?
Well, obviously they score more and give up less, and the problem with them is scoring's not bad. You can still win a game with 3 goals, but fuck, you can't give up the puck. Stop giving up the fucking puck, and start being more physical. You will give up the puck less if you are more physical. You will create more space for yourselves if you are more physical. I love the way Benoit played tonight. I like the way Brody actually played tonight, to be honest with you. They both played pretty good. I still didn't see any real physicality with the forwards. You had a couple of the young kid Dewar there trying to go nose to nose with a couple dudes. That was good on him. It was, he's sticking up for his players, but that was the only real physicality of the game. There wasn't much else. You get a team running around on you like that in your own zone, and you can't control them. Like, if you're not going to skate with them, fucking lay them out. And if even if it means taking a penalty, you still have to send a message. And if you're not sending that message, you're going to get run around on, especially if they can do it. And obviously, Jersey, I'll be honest with you, I didn't think Jersey was that fast anymore after the trades that they made. They are still a very quick team, and they work hard. They're a hard-working team. And then you got the Hughes brothers. What was that, 6 goals?
Yeah, Jack Hughes having a game and a half. Nose, we'll throw it over to you. What do you think Leafs got to do differently heading into Washington to play a game against them?
Yeah, sheer disappointment, obviously, tonight, and kind of what we've been used to. But I said it at the start of the show, it doesn't really matter what they do in these next 10 games. Most of these next 10 games is basically a tryout for who's going to play in the playoffs. That's what it's going to come down to. That's all that matters. This team's playing the playoffs. They're probably not going to get home ice advantage anywhere because they're chasing Florida and Boston. And there's no one I don't think Tampa, they're going to stay on pace, and Tampa's at least 4 points behind. And I don't think they're going to catch them. But worst case scenario, they drop to a wild card spot, and maybe they have a better chance against a team like Carolina or something. I don't know. At the end of the day, this is where a lot of Leaf fans will check out for the next 10 games. And who really cares what they do other than watching who's going to do something to put them in the next level and put them in the conversation that they're a starter in the playoffs. And that's my opinion.
All right. Sticking to it. Well, we'll end it. If you got all the way to here, really appreciate you tuning in tonight. Smash the like button, share the show, and talk about a friend about Keep Your Head Up Hockey. Let's grow this show, and let's make it the biggest as possible. We've got a Saturday night hockey pregame show coming up for you this upcoming Saturday for Core 4. Once again, a big shout out to them. Core 4, you guys are the best. Really do appreciate you guys tuning in and supporting our Saturday night pregame shows. We'll come back on next Tuesday with a normal show, talking about the playoff race, talking about who's going to get in, who's not. What do we think about the Leafs at that point? We'll have a normal show next Tuesday. We wanted to try something new. Wanted to try a Leafs watch party. Hope you enjoyed the game. Not the outcome that we were all looking for, but it is what it is. A big, huge thank you for watching. Keep your head up, as always. And a big shout out to you as the viewer. We appreciate you. We'll see you next time. Take care.
See ya.